How are you all doing? Sorry, microphone was off. Oh, hang on, let me drop that background music down. Alright, so it's been a good bit since I've seen all of you, hasn't it? You can thank the summer for that. It's just been a really crazy hot weather. So, yeah, that's the reason why I've not done a live stream for a while, but I was almost not going to do one today either, but I ended up saying, you know what, let's do one at least on this subject matter, on this big Marvel reveal at San Diego Comic-Con. So we'll be talking about that as well as some sneaky stuff from Ryan Reynolds. In fact, I think I'll probably put that in the title. Bear with me a second, guys. I don't know why. Well, it's been a crazy time, that's why. Sneaky Ryan Reynolds. There you go. I'll just write down bad Ryan Reynolds. Got a limited number of characters I can use. But yeah, Ryan Reynolds, he's done some sneaky stuff, which we will talk about. Some underhanded stuff, it seems, is what he is doing. So let's get this all loaded up. Alright, so let's chat with you guys. It's been a while since I've seen you here. I've been seeing the patrons a lot because we've all been doing video calls on Discord every other week when I'm not doing live streams here on YouTube. So I've been seeing them a lot. But you guys on these live streams, I've not been seeing you for a while, so let's see. I see you there, Anime, and no, the captain is not dead. He's just been juggling a lot of things, let's put it that way. Alright, so we got Anime, we got Rohan here, we got Arch Flamingo, great to see all of you. Spider Will, he's here as well, he says he's doing great, love to hear it. How are you doing, our captain, says Khan. The captain is doing very good. He is this close to being overworked because he's trying to like do so many videos. I mean, believe it or not, as well as the Avengers Doomsday video I just put up, I finished the He-Man versus video properly a few days ago for you guys on YouTube. I also have pretty much finished a Supergirl video as well, but the reason I haven't uploaded it yet is because I put the He-Man video up and then this Avengers Doomsday video up, and the Supergirl movie is going to release on digital any day now, so I was thinking, instead of releasing my review and my discussion on James Gunn and what he's done to the DCU and how his reputation has taken a hit, I was like, why not instead wait a little bit more for the movie to come out, then I can put movie footage in there rather than just a bunch of trailer footage. So I'll add some movie footage in there as well. So that's something I'm doing. I've also finished the script for my review for The Odyssey, and I've got that going. I'm also writing my review for the Avatar Aang movie, which I saw a couple days ago, so I've basically got that, which I'm doing as well. So, oh, hang on, just bringing my lights a little closer. So yeah, I am very, very busy, and I've been doing a lot of work, and you guys are going to get a lot more videos as a result. And of course, versus videos, I'm working on those. And yeah, Spider-Man, you said it, Arch Flamingo, and Red Yoshi. Who else said it? Just you two right now. But yeah, you said it. The Spider-Man Brand New Day movie is also coming out next week, so I'm trying to get these other videos out before that comes out. And then I'm also, of course, working on more versus videos, so if you haven't already, be sure to share my versus videos when you can, because a lot of work goes into them, so if as many people can watch them as possible, that is always a treat. So if you guys could share that video, and click the hype button too. There's a new hype button, which really does help, apparently, in getting more viewers and things. So whenever I put videos up, please do hit that hype button as well. That really does help. And yeah, I've got plenty more stuff coming for you guys, and of course, the patrons. I haven't announced this yet on YouTube, but I did react to that Green Lanterns trailer that just came out for the Lanterns show. And I just did a trailer reaction to that. So, yeah, done a bunch of trailer reactions. A lot of trailers have been coming out recently. There's even a trailer that came out, a teaser trailer that came out for Carrie 2026. If you remember my Carrie versus video from last year, which, Halloween of last year, which, as I said, is my favorite versus video I've ever made. In that video, I actually make reference to the fact that there is more Carrie coming, and that this year there's going to be another Carrie from Mike Flanagan. And yeah, he's releasing the new Carrie series later this year on Amazon Prime, and it looks kind of interesting. I dropped a line on my private Discord server and let people know what I think briefly, and I said that well, you can go to my private Discord if you want to see what I said, but I was kind of impressed, and I basically let them know. So yeah, there's a lot of videos I'm working on, a lot of trailers have been coming out, and yeah, it's a lot. Let's just put it that way, a lot of work. So I hope you guys appreciate all the videos coming out and that you're enjoying them. Did you find Supergirl 2026 good? You're gonna have to wait for the video to come out. It's a big video, and I say a lot. I talk about the movie, and I also talk about James Gunn, and I say a lot about James Gunn. Let's see, who else we got here? We got Nash here, Spider-Will, Charleston, Jess is here. The G-Gamer is also here. Eric better love the Odyssey or we riot his home. Well, I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to wait till the review comes out. I don't win this new Ghost Rider. I don't want this new Ghost Rider to be like Nicolas Cage because that version was an embarrassment. Well, Ghost Rider 2 certainly was, but the first one was a guilty pleasure of mine. There's some fun stuff in there. I love Nicolas Cage's transformation when he's like his skin is burning from the inside. You get half a Nicolas Cage performance in there where he's the cagiest he's been, but then you get half of what I thought was like a genuinely disturbing scene of watching someone and their insides burn. And all the I thought that was very well done. That was a really well done transformation. I don't think we're gonna get anything like that from Marvel, but hey, if they could do something like that, cool. That was an excellent transformation. Fireboy says, how are you, Eric? I missed you. Oh, thanks, bud. I missed you, too. I'm doing very good. Like I said, it was the crazy summer heat which was preventing me from doing more of these live streams. But I'm really glad that... But I'm really glad that I'm able to come back and do another one. So I'm always happy to be with you guys, and today is no different. Oh, in fact, I think it's been such a while that I've forgotten that I always give you guys a link to Streamlabs in the chat. So if you want to ask me any questions, your question will pop up on screen and I'll answer it immediately. Ask Q. There we go. Pin message. There we go. As always, any donations you do, it all goes towards the channel. So super chats or Streamlabs chats, it really does help a million. So thanks a bunch for those. And if you can do any of those, then be sure to. If you can't, then that's okay as well. Okay. Archflamingo says, Eric, have you been growing your beard out? No, but it has grown a lot quicker, at least was what it seems like. But yeah, I've been letting it grow. I'm not going to get it cut until it gets bigger. I think this is still manageable. My hair is still manageable right now too. So the look that I have, at least for me, I think is fine so far. But hey, if you guys think it isn't, be sure to let me know. Eric, what are your thoughts on the Spider-Man footage that is shown until now? Are you excited for the movie or are you hesitant, says Phantom Popfire? Good question. I'm hesitant. I don't think the trailers have shown us enough to be excited. You guys know by watching my previous Versus videos for all 3 of Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies that I've never been particularly a fan of them because I felt like he was never truly Spider-Man. But at the end of No Way Home, he actually had the tragedy, finally, which makes Peter Parker Spider-Man. He essentially had his Uncle Ben die, but this time through his Aunt May. So it's kind of shrewd the way they did it. It wasn't the best, but they've done it. He's had the tragedy. He's living in a crappy apartment. That's the setup for Spider-Man. So hopefully we get that in this next movie. That's what my hope is. So, yeah, we'll have to see. But I'm not that excited. I wish I could be more excited. I was not doing a good job on my lights. I think they're already dying. They weren't when I turned them on before this stream. Ugh, I hate when that happens. Anyway, let's see. It's really weird keeping Sadie Sink's character a secret. Yeah, there's no real reason. I think she might be Jean Grey, or she might be Scott and Jean Grey's daughter. Whatever the reason, it is just them trying to force extra mystery, but there's not really not too much of a mystery. It's like, okay, she's playing a character we don't know. Who really cares? You know. And if Sadie Sink, I swear to God, if she plays, I've said this before, but if she plays basically just another moody teen, I'm not going to be happy. Because there were rumors, I don't know if you guys remember, but there were rumors that she would probably be the daughter of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. And I was saying that if she does, and all she does is just be a moody teen to him and be mean to him, I was not going to be happy. But if she plays a different character where she basically just plays that exact same moody teen, I wouldn't be happy with that either. She plays it too much. She plays it in all the roles that she's in. She plays a moody teen. In fact, my brother watched The Whale recently, and he said she plays moody characters a lot. And I said, yeah, she does. I said, I've been saying this for a long time. She plays moody teen in Stranger Things, but then they wanted her to be moodier. So when her brother died, they made her even more moody in Stranger Things Season 4. And then she was also moody in... there was this movie on Netflix where she plays this girl that's talking to this boy who's locked in this house. It was like a horror movie. She was being moody there as well, moody teen there. She was also being a moody teen in The Whale. She was also a moody teen in... What was the other movie Sadie Sink was in? There was another one I talked to you guys about. But she was moody in that one too. Let's double check it, because I remember... I forgot it right now, but I remember it. Hang on, I'm looking it up. Sadie's movies... Yeah, Fear Street. She was in Fear Street. She was a kind of like a moody teen there. She was also in... Oh, she's going to be in Secret Wars, I remember. TV show, I think it is now. But yeah, The Whale was another. And Stranger Things, I think that's basically it. Wow. In my head, I remember it being more. But yeah, she's been playing a moody teen a lot. It's really weird how she's been playing that one role. So I don't want the MCU to just make her play another moody teen. That wouldn't be cool if she's just playing another moody teen. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that she just plays a lot of moody characters? Why doesn't Steam Labs have Cash App? Why? What do you mean? Is it... I didn't know that it had a Cash App. I thought you just go into it and then just, you know, use your information to base... My information. You just basically submit the amount you want to donate and it should go through. Yusuf is here as well. Love Grizzly Polar Bear is here as well. Yusuf, I love Death Note. I love Death Note. It's my favorite anime show, except for Yu-Gi-Oh! I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Growing up, I used to love that. Oh, like a Cash App. I don't know. It should just have PayPal or just a card app, I think. CTG is here as well. Says, my bad for coming late. Don't worry, buddy. You're here, and I'm glad you're here. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, Kevin. Good old Kevin. Hang on. Let me get my notebook out. Speaking of Death Note, get out my notebook. Don't worry, Kevin. I won't be writing your name in it. Ooh, see, you can tell I've not done these streams in a while. Because I haven't got my this stuff set up like I did. Ooh, before I had it down to a science. Live stream. Wow, 109. Okay. By the way, a big thanks to everyone who's jumped onto Patreon. More people have been jumping onto Patreon recently. Like, more people have been contacting me there. More people have been trying to, like, get updates as to what my Patreon content is. And we've got a couple of extra Discord members in as well, I think, over the last month. So, it's pretty good. More of you are there. It feels like more of the community is over there too, so I'm able to keep in contact with you guys all the time, which I absolutely love. So, and I did just put something there about Christopher Nolan, something about his third brother, believe it or not. I put that up on Discord recently, so there's a lot of stuff that I always tend to share over there. So, Kevin asks, I'm keeping my Nintendo 64 and Wii. I only play GameCube games on it. PS2, 3, and 5 forever, so I can boycott future digital consoles to remain retro. Are you with me, and how do you feel about GTA 6 only having a code in its case? I am with you. In fact, you can see the physical games behind me. Am I pointing at the... No, wrong side. Here you go. You can see the physical games behind me. In fact, if I extend that a little bit, you'll see some more. I just recently... Hold on. I'll show you something I recently got. A game I recently got. Here you go. This is a game, a DS game. I think I told you guys that I've wanted to get. A DS game that I've wanted to get, but I've just not been able to get because it's hard to come by. And for some reason, the physical edition of this game has like really been put through the ringer wherever I've been going to try to find it. And well, it's a childhood game of mine that I had on the Nintendo DS. But when we moved, it got lost, which is something that was really upsetting to me. And this game was tricky to get, but I finally have gotten it. Ultimate Spider-Man for the... Damn it, how long was I muted for? Okay, basically... There you go, it should be coming back through. Sorry about that. Basically, Ultimate Spider-Man 2. This is a game that got lost from my collection when we were in the previous house, and then I moved house, and sadly we lost it, and that was very upsetting to me. But we got it now, and... we got it now. About a good 30 seconds, damn. But yeah, basically, I got the game now, and it's really, really good. I'm glad that I've got it. But yeah, great game. I loved Ultimate Spider-Man on the DS. And then there was Spider-Man 3 on the DS, which was the best version of the game across all consoles. There was also Spider-Man Web of Shadows, which was also the best game across all consoles. It was really, really good stuff. So I'm very, very glad that I finally have got that game back in my collection. Hi, Eric. Do you like sitcoms? Hang on, I haven't finished answering the question for Kevin. But yes, I do like sitcoms. So yeah, am I with you with the whole physical thing and not getting a console that's all digital? Yes, I am. I am not happy that they've done that. And in regards to GTA 6, where you say, what are my thoughts on it only having a code in the box or in the case, that is disgusting. That is gross to just go through making a case, and it's like, what, you're going through making a case, putting the game in the case, you're going through making a case, and to an extent putting the game in the case, why don't you just put the disc in there? It's not that hard to do. So yeah, that is an insult. They should have that there as an option. So yeah, the PS6, Sony look like they don't care. They want it to go all digital, but hopefully people get mad about it and they can't ignore it. That's what I'm hoping. Okay, so I literally just got here, says Ethan's drawings. Well, don't worry about it. We haven't started the stories yet. We're still gonna get there. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna start the stories in a second, and we've got a lot to talk about as well. Like, there's some really interesting stuff, especially some stuff that Ryan Reynolds is doing. So yeah, that's good. Let's make sure I got everything here. All right. Okay, so Kevin, I hope that answers your question, but yeah, physical media all the way, for sure, no question. Like I said, you can see all my physical games there, and I've got PS4 games there, I've got PSP games over here in this drawer that's off to my side. I'm all physical when it comes to video games. So yeah. All right. So we're gonna get into the stories now. As I talk about the stories, as always, guys, bear in mind that I'm not gonna be able to answer all of your questions while I'm telling the stories. I'm gonna stay focused. So if you want me to answer your questions immediately, all you gotta do is a super chat or a Streamlabs chat, and I'll answer your questions immediately. So yeah, as I've said that it always helps and it goes towards supporting the channel if you do any of those super chats as well. So whenever you do those, I'll answer your question immediately, and as I said, it helps the channel a great deal. So with that said, it's great, just Spider-World collecting films on physical media. Nice. CTG says was going to renew my membership. It's gone up to 10 Canadian dollars. That's probably because YouTube put out a message recently, where they said they're going to be updating prices. So maybe that's what happened. Go over to my Patreon. I'd recommend all of you guys go over to my Patreon because the same perks you get here on YouTube memberships, there are more perks on Patreon and are cheaper. The reason that the prices are raised here on YouTube memberships is because YouTube takes a 30% cut, so that means that the price of the memberships has to be 30% higher. But if you go over to Patreon, you get 30% off, essentially, so it's much better. I'd recommend going over to Patreon, and I'm able to put content up there that YouTube cannot say copyright claimed or anything like that. So yeah, good. Let's see, where are you? CTG, definitely head on over to my Patreon. I'd highly recommend that. And plus, there are many of other perks that you can get there too, that are more, and it's more interactive over there. So I'd recommend going over there. I did YouTube memberships because people actually did want me to, some people wanted me to do YouTube memberships. Apparently that's the way they prefer it. So I got it there as an option for people. But myself personally, I always much prefer Patreon to support people up there. It's just, Patreon is more organized, whereas YouTube memberships kind of gets just, it's all messy in there. It's mixed with the main YouTube videos. So yeah, anyway, that's what I'd recommend for that. Okay, yeah, we are going to start the story soon. Arch Flamingo has done a $10 super chat. Thank you very much, bud. He says, Eric, are you going to compare Spider-Man Brand New Day in terms of Spider-Man movies or other 4 flicks superhero-wise? No, with Spider-Man Brand New Day, it's actually the first time I'm not going to do a versus video because no other Spider-Man movie has gone past 3. So I've got no Spider-Man movie to compare it to. So yeah, I'm sad to say, it's kind of like an end of an era. I've done 3-way versus videos with all these Spider-Man movies. Each time Tom Holland has got a new film, except for now. There's no 3-way versus video to do, so I'm sorry, but there is no 3-way versus video that I can make of this. So yeah, I won't be doing a 3-way versus video. These effing handles always get me mixed up. It's Connor, Eric, sorry. Oh yeah, see, it gets me mixed up too, so don't worry about that, buddy. But yeah, Arch Flamingo, I won't be doing a versus video because there's no versus video to do. But if there was, I would. Alright then, so, time to get onto the story. And that is going to be Avengers Doomsday. So, Marvel had a San Diego Comic-Con recently. And at the San Diego Comic-Con, they, of course, as you would expect, they did a bunch of stuff where they... Hang on, let me get my notes here. They made a bunch of announcements, is what they did. They made a bunch of announcements, and there's some interesting info that's come out. So the first thing is this. The new movie lineup. So the new movie lineup consists of Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is coming out July the 30th. Avengers Doomsday, which is coming out December 18th, 2026. Let's see, we've got a £3.75 super chat here. Sorry, Streamlabs chat from Iron Warrior. Thank you very much, Iron Warrior. I really appreciate that when you do it on Streamlabs. That really, it means YouTube takes no cuts. That's a huge help. Thank you very much. He says, have you seen The Odyssey had a 30% drop off this week? No, I knew it made over 600 million globally so far. I didn't know it had a 30% drop off. That's insane. And do you think Spider-Man takes a lot from its box office this coming week? Yes, I do. I think it'll take a huge chunk from its box office. Also, how much do you think Spider-Man makes at the box office, and do you think it outdoes Doomsday? I don't know if it'll outdo Doomsday, because I think Doomsday has got Iron Man in there as Doom. It's got Thor. It's got the full Avengers shebang in there. It's got the X-Men in particular, which I think people are really going to like to see, you know, Fox's X-Men. But I think it will make over $1 billion for sure. I don't know if it will make more than that, but I think it's a solid bet to say it will make a billion, if not close to $1 billion. But I think it should definitely stand a chance against whatever comes its way. So yeah, going back to my notes, thanks for the super Streamlabs chat, bud. I appreciate that. Okay, so going back, so we got Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out July 30th. We've got Avengers Doomsday coming out December 18th, 2026. And then we've got Black Panther 3 coming out. And then we have Ghost Rider. And these are the actors. Now, the actor that we have is, hold on a second, just getting... Here we go. Okay, so here are the actors right here that were showing up. So yeah, let me bring them down so you can see the Ghost Rider logo. All right, there we go. Okay, so interestingly, yeah, we've only got these 5 movies that have been announced, although there is potential for another one to come out in 2028, but we'll discuss that soon. So yeah, these are the movies that they've announced, and interestingly, you'll notice that, do you know how Marvel normally have a big slate of movies coming out, and then now lately they've got a slate of movies and shows? They've done away with that, and they've basically just shown us this, that this is what we basically have right now. It's basically Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is coming out in a few days, Doomsday, which is coming out later this year, and then in 2027 no MCU movies will be coming out except for Secret Wars, and then in December Black Panther will be coming out. And then in 2028, December 20, hang on, getting my words twisted. In 2028, we're going to get a Black Panther movie in December, and Ghost Rider is coming out sometime in 2028. Now, this is interesting. This means that we're going to get 2 movies in 2028, Marvel movies, but if Black Panther 3 is coming out on December 15th of 2028, that means Ghost Rider must come out, I'm assuming, somewhere in the summer. So maybe the date that Spider-Man Brand New Day has right now is when they're going to release Ghost Rider. And that means that it should come out at the end of July. Or sometime in July, so Ghost Rider can be their summer movie. And yeah, now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about each of these films. Now, about Avengers Doomsday, something that they announced is that Peggy Carter is actually confirmed to be in the movie. So she's going to be in it, and they lined her up. I don't have a picture of it here, but they lined her up on stage with Robert Downey Jr., who plays Doom, and Captain America. Now, if you watch that video I just put up on my channel right now, talking about Avengers Doomsday's trailer, and how it shows clearly it's a panic move from Marvel, in that video, I talk about how I want Captain America to be basically Captain Hydra, like an evil Captain America. And one of the reasons I cite is that Robert Downey Jr. is playing... Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, they both played the heroes of the Avengers, and I thought it would be interesting to see both actors now play the villains against the Avengers, because if they're doing that with Robert Downey Jr., then they might as well go ahead and do that with Chris Evans as Captain America. So now here's the thing. So that's going to be something which I assume is going to happen. Now, Peggy Carter, what is she there for? Well, Peggy Carter, I think, is going to play, I think, the female Captain America. And she is also going to be evil, I think. I think there's going to be 3 of them that are evil. And this is where things get kind of interesting. Now, I speculate that, for those of you that don't know, in the comics, there are versions of the comics where Doctor Doom and Scarlet Witch are basically partners, or lovers, basically. And here's my guess. My guess is that they tried to get Elizabeth Olsen back as Scarlet Witch, but she must have said no. So because she said no, they were like, okay, so if we can't give Doctor Doom an evil partner, who else is there? Then they were like, evil Pepper Potts? But I don't think anyone's going to want to see an evil Pepper Potts. And not to mention, I think that'll be too close to Robert Downey Jr. at that point, too close to Iron Man. So then I'm guessing they were like, well, let's do, instead of giving Doctor Doom an evil partner, let's give Captain America an evil partner. And I think that's why Peggy Carter is in here. Because I think they were not able to get Elizabeth Olsen to come back as Scarlet Witch. So that's my guess, is that I think that they couldn't get her, so they got Peggy Carter instead. So that's my guess. So they couldn't get Wanda as Doom's love interest, so they settled with Peggy as evil Captain America's partner instead. So there's that. And then we get Avengers Secret Wars on December 17th, a movie that Sadie Sink is also apparently supposed to be in. So I don't know what character she plays, if she's meant to be a Jean Grey or a Jean Grey's daughter. She's gonna have a role in that film. And also Doctor Strange is gonna have a big role in that film as well, apparently, according to a very old statement from Benedict Cumberbatch. So yeah, so those are the movies we got. We got Brand New Day, Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars, and now Black Panther 3. Now, Black Panther 3 has got a couple of confirmations, as well as its release date that you see. It also has information that we're going to get a new Black Panther. So, if you remember, Shuri, Black Panther's sister, she was the replacement Black Panther for T'Challa. And they tried, but I don't think it worked in Black Panther 2. And people were saying, there's a big uproar where people were saying they should have recast T'Challa's role, and this light has gone off. Move you over there. But basically they're saying they're going to recast T'Challa is what people were saying they should have done. But Marvel didn't do that. But now, however, it looks like they're kind of doing that, because we're going to get a replacement Black Panther, and the replacement Black Panther is supposed to be his son, which is right here, with this actor, which you might recognize and have seen before. His name is David Johnson. Now, David Johnson, you might not remember, but he was in the movie called The Long Walk. And The Long Walk was a really, really good movie. You should definitely watch it if you haven't. It's a really good film based on one of Stephen King's books. And it was a really good movie. I actually really, really enjoyed that. So, that film, I'm sure, is what got him the role. But he's going to be the next Black Panther. He's going to be T'Challa's son. And the third movie's going to have him in it. But another announcement they made is that Denzel Washington is also going to be in the movie. As who, I don't know, but I think he's most likely going to play the villain of the film. And Ryan Coogler is returning to write and direct, so I'm curious to see how they do. This could actually be really interesting, and I wonder if Ryan Coogler, now that he's kind of like used IMAX, the IMAX cameras with Sinners, I wonder if he tries to use the IMAX cameras for Black Panther 3 and tries to go all out, because I'm sure now he has more capital after Sinners and all that he's going to want to try to do more things. So I bet you that's going to happen. So, yeah, that's what we have right there. And then we get to the big one. The big one is Ghost Rider. And also, as you can see right here, we've talked about Robert Downey Jr., we've talked about David Johnson, but also, we've got Ryan Gosling here. Now, there's been rumors for a long, long time that Ryan Gosling, he loves Ghost Rider and that he wants to play the character. And, well, now he's got his wish. He's going to be playing Ghost Rider. So, Kevin Feige said that he did it because it was something that an interviewer asked him to do, potentially. And it's actually happened. I think Kevin Feige is giving in to fan hype, or he's kind of like, he's really trying to get the fans to like him because he knows the state Marvel is in. I mean, geez, if you watch that video, I just talked about how Avengers Doomsday is basically just like a precaution, a last resort type thing. Because I'm betting you that Kevin Feige's job was in serious danger. So he basically, Kevin Feige, because he was in serious danger, he pulled in case of danger, break glass. That's the move he did with Avengers Doomsday. And that's why the Russos came in and they're making Avengers Doomsday, because Kevin Feige, I'm sure his ass was on the hook. So basically, this is what he did. And now, because Ryan Gosling has been talking about it, and a lot of people have been bringing up Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider, I'm sure that is why Kevin Feige hired him. Because he's like, please fans, please like me. Like, he's trying to get the hype back. So that's why they're bringing in the Avengers. They'll also bring the OG Avengers. That's why they're also bringing in the X-Men. He's trying to get you in with as much nostalgia as he can with Avengers Doomsday. So that's what's it's kind of funny when you think about it. It's quite desperate, but I don't know. I'm seeing the funny side of it, as the Joker says. Now I see the funny side. But yeah, it does seem like they're getting very desperate, and we already knew they were desperate, but they're still desperate even after Doomsday, because I think they know that this is only going to be a temporary win for them when they make Doomsday and Secret Wars, and I think they are trying to get future wins after Doomsday and Secret Wars, because they know once these two movies are over, that doesn't mean everyone's going to suddenly go back to loving Marvel. They're still going to probably have issues. Plus, we don't even know if Doomsday and Secret Wars are going to be good. For all we know, they could end up being bad, so it's a concern, and Kevin Feige is worried, so that's why he's trying to change things from what he was originally doing. So before, he was trying to put in a lot more female superheroes, but now he's replacing Shuri with T'Challa's son, so he's putting in another male character. He's also bringing in a white guy to play Ghost Rider, who I'm sure Kevin Feige would have tried to have brought in someone more diverse, maybe someone who's a Latino actor or something. But no, he brought in a white actor, which is not something that he would typically do, if you looked at his recent years of casting people. So this kind of shows that Feige, even though Doomsday and Secret Wars are on the horizon, and Doomsday has got like crazy amount of views on his trailer, he knows that just because I do a good job with Doomsday and Secret Wars, and just because people come in to go see that, doesn't mean they're going to come see the rest of our movies. So I think he is still in survival mode, even after these two films come out, which is a good mindset to be in, because it's realistic. That very much is the case. People will watch these two Avengers movies, but then after that, they'll kind of be like, yep, peace, I'm out. Like, we've watched the movies, and now we're gonna ignore your standalone meh movies. I mean, it's like they still haven't gotten a Blade movie out, and Feige himself said that he sees himself as a loser and a failure for not bringing out the Blade movie after all these years. So Feige, I think he does feel that he can't be complacent, because if he is, his ass is on the line, and I'm sure Disney have had a serious talk with him, because all these moves he's doing, it really does feel like a guy who is desperate. So I'm certain that Disney have had a good, strong word with him, and that's why he's trying to do as best as he can now. He's taking things seriously again. I did wish we could have gotten a Ghost Rider movie before Secret Wars. Yeah, that is true, because then we could have got Ghost Rider in Secret Wars. Unless the Russos pull a move like they did with Civil War, where they introduced Black Panther. Unless they try to introduce him into Secret Wars, that could be a way they could do it. And then Ghost Rider's movie will be the second time we see him. So that potentially could be a thing. Interesting. Because Secret Wars, they're going to try to put in all these characters. Because Sadie Sink, she's in that movie, as I told you. I'm sure Spider-Man's going to be in there. Doctor Strange is going to be in there. That's going to be the big one. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Feige did think, or the Russos thought, what if we introduced Ghost Rider? So that's potentially something that could happen. But now, going back to Ghost Rider, here's the thing. Now, this is going to lead into Deadpool and some of the shenanigans that Ryan Reynolds has been doing. And he's been pulling some fast ones, but I'll tell you about that in a second. It leads into this. Now, with Ghost Rider, a big question that I had with this first was like, oh, cool, it's going to be a dark movie. But I was like, hang on, it's Marvel. They don't always do dark movies, even if it makes sense. Because Daredevil, as we all know, was going to be a PG-13 show. And then Blade was also going to be a PG-13 movie. And that was one of the reasons that they were having such a bad time with the scripts. But then they said it was going to be rated R, but we haven't got official confirmation that it's going to be rated R, all this mess. So I was thinking, I should not feel so confident that Ghost Rider is going to be rated R, or is going to be even a dark movie. And with Ghost Rider, you can do either PG-13 or go rated R. But as like Marvel are most likely going to try to keep it PG-13, which is fine, so long as they push the rating. But are they going to go for horror or comedy? But the thing is, if you look at... Here's the thing. If you look at the Backrooms that came out, which I still haven't seen yet, or Obsession, which I have seen, horror is really taking over right now. Even the upcoming Clayface movie is getting a really good reception. It's getting a better reception than the new Lanterns show. So horror really is the big thing right now. So if I was Kevin Feige, I would have done a lot differently, but if I was Kevin Feige in this instance, I would actually make Ghost Rider a horror movie, because horror is just so strong right now. And he's actually... But thing is, we don't know for sure. Marvel, for all we know, they could try to make Ghost Rider seem all funny. So yeah, I think they should make it horror. But this is where things start to get interesting. Like I said, they are really trying to course correct. First we get... We're really getting the guys back. So we're getting a male Black Panther again. And now we're getting a white Ghost Rider. But here's where things get interesting, and this is where Deadpool comes into the picture. And trust me when I say, this is really bizarre. Sean Levi, who directed Deadpool and Wolverine, he is directing the Ghost Rider movie. Now that is very strange, because first of all, he directed Deadpool Wolverine. The next thing he's directing is Star Wars Starfighter over at Lucasfilm. That's where him and Ryan Gosling have met. They're both working on that movie, essentially. And now Ghost Rider is supposed to be the next movie they make after that. So, here's the thing. You would think that Sean Levi directed Deadpool Wolverine. He then was going to direct a Star Wars movie. You'd then think his Marvel return would be another Deadpool film. Whether it's Deadpool and Wolverine Part 2 or Deadpool 4 or whatever. You'd think that would be his next film. But no, actually, he's actually making Blade. So, sorry, not Blade, Ghost Rider. So, what's happening with Deadpool? Well, this, guys, is where we start to talk about this. Now, Deadpool, you can see, was actually at San Diego Comic-Con. And this actually is Ryan Reynolds, by the way. This actually is Ryan Reynolds. And he actually came in there and asked a question, as he does, like, a question, it's supposed to be a dumb joke. He wasn't part of the crowd, but he was there. He wasn't part of the people on stage, but he was asking a question. So yeah, he basically was basically just allowed there, but he wasn't with the rest of the group, with the rest of the cast, like people normally would be. Now, this is where things start to get interesting about Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds has made statements recently where I feel like even Ryan Reynolds knows he's not going to be really coming back as Deadpool. At least, not for a very, very long time. Because Ryan Reynolds said, if you see here, this was back in July 20... This is recently what he said, in July 21st of 2026. The article, if I bring it up here, he says in this article, I have about Deadpool 4, this is, mind you, I have some stuff kind of written, but I don't think I'm ever going to center him again. He is a supporting character. He is a guy who is great in a group. Now, he's talking about Deadpool, and he's talking about Deadpool and the fact that he doesn't want him to be the main character. He wants him to be a supporting character in a movie. Now, that's strange, because Ryan Reynolds just made a movie that made $1 billion. Usually when actors or producers or directors, they make movies that are that popular, have made that much money, they're usually thinking, okay, my next movie's going to be this, my next movie's going to be this, it'll be Deadpool 4, or it might be Deadpool Wolverine 2, or maybe Deadpool and the X-Men. Like, he'll try to go bigger, and he'll try to get his movie done as soon as possible. But it's interesting how he goes from all of that, which he can have, and you know Ryan Reynolds would want, and he's saying, no, I want Deadpool to be a supporting character, basically a side character. That is not something that Ryan Reynolds, of all people, would normally say. Now, like I said, this, if you look over here, this is from April the 20th, 2026. He said this all the way back in April. And the funny thing is that recently, and this is like just a few days ago, like 3-4 days before Comic-Con happened, he was at, where was he? He was at He was at a Fanatics event interview you can look up. And he basically said there that Deadpool 4 is coming. Now, this is very interesting. He's basically what he's doing. This is what actors normally do when they cannot speak to the heads of the studio. When they can't speak to the heads of the studio, when they can't speak to the executives, they'll usually what they'll do is they'll go to an event and they'll talk to their fan base, and they'll make, without permission from the studio, they'll make an announcement to the fan base, and then they will have the fan base praise it, cheer for it, and then have the fan base say, look what Ryan Reynolds said, he's going to make Deadpool 4. And basically, this is something that actors normally do when they want to try to manifest something. Actors have done it, writers have done it, directors have done it. You'll always hear that their names out there, like they're potentially working on this movie or this project, and then it turns out they were never working on it. But they put it out there because they want to get the word out, they want to get the hype out, and they want people to manifest it. So the studio says, well, if that person said they're doing it, then yeah, I guess we're doing it. But the thing is, you only do that if you feel like you've not got any negotiation power with the studio. So why is Ryan Reynolds saying these two completely contradictory things? First saying Deadpool can be a side supporting character. I don't want him to be the main character anymore. He has to be a supporting character. And then recently he was saying, well, just a few days ago, yeah, we're going to make Deadpool 4. But the thing is, if he was going to make Deadpool 4, then wouldn't that be one of the announcements right here? That would be one of the announcements. So they would say brand new days coming out. We got Doomsday later this year, Secret Wars next year, Black Panther 3 the year after that. We've got Ghost Rider in 2028. And guess what we also got in 2028? Deadpool 4, or Deadpool and Wolverine 2, or Deadpool and the X-Men. That's the kind of info that would come out. But that's not coming out. Instead, he's saying it on his own, but he's not saying it at Comic-Con. This makes me think that Ryan Reynolds is not getting another Deadpool movie because of the whole controversy he's landed himself into, where we've started to see more of his true colors with the whole Justin Baldoni case. Basically, Ryan Reynolds has shown a lot of his true colors through that, and a lot of people don't like him anymore. In fact, it's been a while now, he has still disabled comments on his Instagram. He's put it onto limited, which means just basically a select few of his yes men basically are the ones jumping in and coming in to basically comment on his stuff. They'll praise him for anything. It's similar to what Amber Heard did and other people that with controversies like Ellen, who we've all heard things about. It's interesting. So basically, it means that Ryan Reynolds does not have the negotiating power that an actor like himself usually would after he delivers a movie that makes over $1 billion. So Ryan Reynolds is actually in a very bad spot for himself. He's kind of screwed himself. And you can tell the guy wants to make another Deadpool movie and he wants to still be looked at as popular as he was, but people hate him. They hate him. They're not even happy with Hugh Jackman due to how he treated his wife, had an affair with her. He had an affair on his wife and the way he just left her and everything. So he's not popular. Ryan Reynolds in particular, though, because Deadpool Wolverine was supposed to make him so big. It made a lot of money. It was supposed to really make him think, okay, now I can do more. I can be in more stuff. But clearly Marvel don't want him because they think he's a liability. We can't make money off of you, and we are afraid of the backlash that we'll get. So I think they've not said no to him completely, but they've put a pause on Deadpool because of all of that. I think this was something that they allowed him to do because I think he's only got like one short scene. If the leaks are true, he's got one short scene in Avengers Doomsday. So that's why they're letting him show up at the event here a little bit, because they can put him in the film for just a little. I think they're hoping that if he's in the movie a little, it shouldn't be that bad, that they'll be able to get away with it. But if they put him in more, it will be a bad thing. So yeah, that's basically the situation that they're in, that Ryan Reynolds is in. He's supposed to have a Deadpool 4 movie announced at this point, or some big movie or big appearance announcement, but he's not. And it's all to do with his doing and the fact that his true colors and Blake Lively's true colors have really been coming out as of late. And with all the stuff, their text messages and emails that have been leaked during this whole court case, it's really shown their true colors and how Ryan Reynolds is like just a very bad person. And the huge backlash against him, it's gotten to the point where even Disney don't want to hire him, even though his movie made over $1 billion. Although it's also because it had Hugh Jackman in there, but yeah. So yeah, Dog in the House says, sorry, what's the Ryan controversy? The Ryan Reynolds controversy is that Justin Baldoni, who directed the It Ends With Us movie, which Ryan Reynolds' wife, Blake Lively, was in, they accused him of, I can't say the words on YouTube, but basically of doing stuff to Ryan Reynolds' wife. Like he was being a very horrible boss, very abusive of his position, and he took advantage and all these things. But really, we found out that this was really a big smear campaign that was led by Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds to make the director look bad, even though the director was basically writing and directing his own movie, which he bought the rights to the book from, which is what he's basing his movie on. And Blake Lively was cast in it, and then she basically tried to take it over. That's what's going on, and they're trying to make him look like the bad guy, when really Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are the bad guys. But Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are trying to make it out like they had no power. But the thing is, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, they are far richer than the director. They have all the power. But they're trying to make it out like as if he had all the power and they were the weak ones, and no one's buying it. So Ryan Reynolds has basically come across and made himself look really bad, because if you read some of the messages, the text messages and emails that he's been sending, and the stuff he's been doing, you'll find out that he's like a bully behind the scenes, and it's crazy how much of a hypocrite he is in terms of the things he gets mad at. And also, what was the other thing I was going to mention? Oh, it just left me. I've forgotten about it. Don't worry. If it comes up again, I'll bring it up. But yeah, Ryan Reynolds, he's actually a big issue. He's come across as someone who is fake. And we know actors are fake, but not as fake as Ryan Reynolds. He's apparently a really bad dude. Arch Flamingo has done a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, buddy. He says, if Ryan wants another Deadpool film to be greenlit, he's going to have to pull a Deadpool and Spidey with either Tom Holland or Andrew Garfield. Yeah, probably. But the thing is, will they want to be in a movie with him after his controversy? Everything he's done? How he's tried to take control away from the director, and how he's... like, for example, one thing, Dog in the House, that... yeah, it's kind of like the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard court case. Yes, essentially. Another thing, I don't know if you heard about this Dog in the House, but do you know Nice Pool in the movie? Nice Pool, we found out through court documents and everything, Nice Pool actually is supposed to be the director. So they've given him the same ponytail bun. They've tried to make, Deadpool, there's a reason Deadpool hates him so much. I thought it was because he loved the dog that you had. I can't remember what the dog was called, but that Nice Pool's dog. I thought that's why he hated him. But I remember then watching an interview where it was Ryan Reynolds doing commentary on a certain clip with the director, and he says, I effing hate Nice Pool. And when he said that, I was like, okay, I get Deadpool being mad at the character, but why are you mad at the character? That felt so bizarre to me. However, we have now found out that he's basically making that Nice Pool. Nice Pool is essentially supposed to be the director of that movie. So when they're basically Dogpool, that was it. So when he's basically like holding Nice Pool and having all the Deadpools, well, Blake Lively Deadpool, Lady Pool, shoot him with a machine gun, that's basically an in-joke that went completely over our heads. But basically, it was an in-joke that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were doing to basically openly mock Justin Baldoni. And we all laughed at it, but we all felt really gross when we found out what it is that they were saying and what they were doing. So Ryan Reynolds has really... That is... G-Gamer says, poor Nice Pool getting shot. Yeah, but really to them, that was Justin Baldoni getting shot. So what they did was truly despicable. And it almost felt like we were like a witness to the crime without realizing it, because that was them further antagonizing and bullying Baldoni. So yeah, that everything to do with Nice Pool is just gross. And Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are also gross. So yeah, Blake Lively, she's no longer friends with with Taylor Swift. She was normally best friends with her, but Taylor Swift has been ghosting her. But in the messages, we found out that Taylor Swift was also a bully too. That she was basically, she makes all these claims about, you know, ownership. I think it was copyright or something. I can't remember. Something to do with allowing herself to express herself as an artist and not have other people control her. But then she was supporting Blake Lively and allowing her to do the exact same thing that she was originally preaching against. So it didn't even make Taylor Swift look good, and that's why she's remained distant from Blake Lively because of that. So yeah, Taylor Swift didn't look particularly good after that either. So yeah, it's a whole mess. It's a complete mess. They disguised that pretty good, because damn, yeah, they did disguise that very good, Arch Flamingo. So yeah, that was really bad. So that's why Ryan Reynolds is kind of in the shit right now. And a lot of studios, like there was even a head of Sony, excuse me. There was also the head of Sony, there was an email that got leaked of him saying that Blake Lively, ultimately, she didn't deserve the backlash that she got, but she brought it on herself because they were trying to settle things more quietly. And basically saying all she had to do, I think, was basically just apologize or something, but she didn't even do that. She didn't apologize to the interviewer that she was being mean to. So yeah, it's a complete dog show what they did, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. And that's why Ryan Reynolds, I think the most that they allowed him to do was this at the panel, but nothing much more beyond that. So yeah, basically, those are the movies that we have, and after that, the only other bit of news is that we got Vision Quest coming. Vision Quest is a show based on Vision, and it'll come out October 14th, 2026, from what I've read. And Kevin Feige said it's the end of the Wonder trilogy of TV shows, that being WandaVision, Agatha All Along, and Vision Quest. So yeah, the end of Wanda's trilogy, even though she was only in one of them. That's bizarre, isn't it? Unless she makes a surprise appearance in Vision Quest, but I don't know how you can see this as the Wanda trilogy. Really, I don't. G-Gamer says people checked out after WandaVision. I checked out after Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That pissed me off, that show did. It's because of that show and how bad it was, and I was looking forward to it. But it's because of that show and how bad it was, I never watched Loki. And people are saying to me, Eric, you gotta watch Loki. It's important that you watch Loki. Because Multiverse of Madness is coming out. And then I didn't watch Loki. Multiverse of Madness did come out, and it had nothing to do with Loki. So Marvel have really kind of screwed the fans over in their own way, because people were saying, you gotta watch Loki for Multiverse of Madness. And then I bet they all felt right stupid and disappointed when it turns out that they never did. So yeah, it was a loose sequel to WandaVision, and it wasn't even tightly written. It had a lot of plot holes that didn't make sense. So yeah. I guess Doctor Strange 2 don't count to them. I don't know. Loki was overrated. I think you're the only person I've heard say that. A lot of people apparently like it. JWK, I'm doing very well. How are you doing today, buddy? Great to see a lot of you again that I've not seen for quite a few weeks because of this crazy heat we've been having. Apparently the heat's going to go back up in this next few days, so that's not particularly excited for that. People checked out after one, I actually read that. Eric, personally, would you want to see another Deadpool movie? Not right now. I'm honestly put off of Ryan Reynolds that I don't think I do. In order for me to want to watch a Deadpool movie, Ryan Reynolds, I don't know. I don't even know if I can anymore. I've just learned too much about him, and he's a very foul person when you find out who Ryan Reynolds is. This good guy facade he puts on is just a load of nonsense. And he even said something like, people need to... He's talking about us. He said... Because all the propaganda he was putting out, no one believed it. Because everyone knew he was full of shit. And he basically went on a talk show or interview at one point, and he says that people need to believe in the media again. You mean, because you're a billionaire, the media that you can basically control and put false news out there? Because you're a rich dude. That was gross when he said that. Basically, he doesn't like the fact that all of us are more wise to their bullshit. He still wants to pull the wool out from under your eyes. He still wants to pull the rug from under you. And, well, he basically wants to say, yeah, I want to say whatever I want. You guys have to believe me. But people are believing the truth. They're looking into things themselves. They're not falling for the nonsense of the media. Especially in this day and age where the media they've always been full of shit, but people are especially wise to it now because there's been propaganda that's been going back for decades that people have been discovering with the files and all these other things. People don't trust the media anymore, and Ryan Reynolds is saying that they should be trusting it again. Ridiculous. I believe separating the art from the artist, so I want Deadpool 4. I believe in that too, but there's a line to it. So if an actor says something, it depends what they've said. Is it harmful? This. If I bring up examples, it'll get political, and I don't want people to be feeling any of that right now. I haven't got the energy to debate any of this stuff. But it depends. There's always a line. There is always that point you go too far. And Ryan Reynolds pulling an Amber Heard, essentially, that for me is going way too far. Trying to destroy someone who's innocent, all because you were trying to take advantage of that person. And then when that person wasn't allowing you to, you then tried to flip the script and make it seem like that person was the one that was a control freak and was doing all of this and that. And you tried to destroy a person. That's essentially what Amber Heard tried to do. That's what Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively tried to do. And also when you find out as well that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively were keeping Hugh Jackman's affair quiet from his wife, who apparently they knew Hugh Jackman's wife, but they kept it quiet. I also wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Reynolds was encouraging Hugh Jackman to go on the affair rather than talking him out of it. Because there's a whole story about that, but that actually is a very valid analysis to make of Ryan Reynolds when you find out that he is a jealous person and that he was also jealous of Hugh Jackman. Because Hugh Jackman was a big star because of Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds wanted to be that big, but in the end he wasn't. And then what did he do? Do you notice how he managed to swing the Deadpool and Wolverine movie to be a Deadpool movie first and Wolverine second, even though usually their positions in that regard were the other way around. It was always Wolverine first and Deadpool, but now he switched it the other way. There's a lot to unpack from these court documents. I can't do that all now. I don't think you guys would want me to do that all now. That's not what this is all about, this discussion. But basically, Ryan Reynolds has crossed a line. Everyone has a line in terms of separating the art from the artist. I have that too. But Ryan Reynolds has gone way too far. Way too far. To where I think that I just can't look at him anymore. It's sad to say. JWK says, aside from the Deadpool movies, I never really liked Ryan Reynolds movies. Yeah, me neither. He's always been kind of like this one-trick pony dude, hasn't he, in movies? It just happened to work with Deadpool. But beyond that, yeah, not really. Ryan and Blake are screwing the kids over worse than Will and Jada. Well, it's a lot of them. They're all kind of screwing them over, aren't they? Hugh Jackman was supporting Blake and Ryan, just so you know. Yeah, he was. Except for when it came to going to court. Then he was ignoring Ryan Reynolds' messages. An inside source actually said that once it was starting to, court discussions were going on, Hugh Jackman kept his distance. Ryan Reynolds, I can tell you, the only reason right now that he is trying to that he's maintaining any contact with Hugh Jackman is because he knows that's what the discourse is. That everyone is saying, "Oh, look at that! They're not two good pals. They're not really They're not really great pals." In fact, you can look for a video out there where Jake Gyllenhaal was pissed off at Ryan Reynolds and says, "I have nothing to say to him." To this woman in an interview, he actually sounded like that, disgusted. So he even had a bromance with Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Reynolds did, and Jake Gyllenhaal was disgusted with Ryan Reynolds, and basically I think he was just trying to use Jake Gyllenhaal, and when he didn't need him anymore, he basically just dropped him. So it was never a real friendship there. Shark Leak, that is a very good question. He says, whatever happened to that Blade game? Rumors are, with Microsoft closing a bunch of studios, that they might even close the studio working on the Blade game, because apparently the game was supposed to come out at the end of 2026, but they've actually fallen behind, and the game will come out at the end of 2027. And because of that, they're thinking of cancelling it, and that is very upsetting, because I was looking really forward to a Blade game. I don't know what it looks like, the game, but it looks like it could be a really interesting game, a Blade game. That sounds fun, especially if it's combat related. But if you're just a year away from the release, that means that the game has got a lot of development. It'd be a waste just to throw it all away, but Microsoft are cutting a lot of jobs right now. They just might do it. I really hope they don't, though, because Blade is such a cool game. JWK says, are you excited for the new Wolverine game? I would be, but I think we watched, was it on my private Discord where we watched the trailer together? And I think I said I was not so into it because it was either on my private Discord or actually on Patreon. If you go and you'll be able to take a look. But I actually said I think the wait put me off. I waited too long to see footage of that game, and now that I have, it looks cool, but I'm not super excited about it. And also, I was not going to get the game to play it because it's on the PS5. I was going to wait for the PC version, but looks like they're not doing that. I was thinking I might get a PS6 version, but now we know PlayStation 6 is not going to have a disc drive, and it's not going to have physical media. So I'm not going to get a PS6 anymore, and I'm not going to get a PS5 because the PS5 is nearing the end of its life cycle in like a year, and the prices for the system have gone up due to the RAM and storage crisis. So Wolverine makes sense for people to play if they already have a PS5, but for people like me who don't have a PS5, it doesn't make sense to get a PS5 to play it. What does make sense is to wait for the PS6, spend your money on that, get a brand new 7-year life cycle for the console, and then buy the game and play it through backwards compatibility. But if they're not going to have physical media, then I don't want a PS6. So if Sony want to get my sale, they got to release a PC version. Or if by some miracle someone sends me a PlayStation 5, some rich dude, which ain't going to happen, but I can dream. Then I'll play it, but I'm not going to do it on my own accord, sadly. So I won't be able to review the Wolverine game or anything, I'm sad to say. Archfalingo says, I got a PS5 for this year alone for the Wolverine and for Token Wolverine and Modern Warfare 4. Yeah. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, for me, I'm so busy, and I don't know, getting a PlayStation 5, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys do know, the PlayStation 5 is freaking ginormous. It is ugly. It looked better in the mock photos, but it looked bloody well ugly when you actually get that thing in your house. And it's so big. I don't know how it can be so big coming from the PlayStation 4. I've got a PS4 right off to my side over there. It's the same PS4 I unboxed on this channel years ago. That came with the Batman Arkham Knight bundle. And it's a great design. But yeah, geez, how big it is. I did get myself a gaming PC recently, which is right over there. I paid £700, and it is on eBay. I got it. And it is so good for that money. This thing should really cost well over £1,000. Like well over $1,000, like 1.4 grand, 1,400 or something like that. But I got it for 700, and it is really good. Anime says, what are the specs? Okay, well, I'm going to get a little bit technical here, but it has a Ryzen 5 7500F CPU. It's got an RX 9060 XT 16GB GPU. It's got 16GB of RAM, single stick, funnily enough, because I was going to get the Steam machine, but that was way too expensive. So, yeah, basically instead I ended up getting this PC. And just like the Steam machine has one stick of 16GB of RAM rather than 2 sticks, this PC comes with one stick of 16GB of RAM, which is funny, because it was meant to be a Steam machine alternative for me. I also got a 1TB Samsung SSD. It's an NVMe SSD, so like top of the line. And those are very expensive if you were to get them individually. And I also have an AM5 motherboard, which basically means that it's future-proof. And I can, several years from now, I can put in a new CPU, I can put in a new graphics card and everything, and I don't have to swap out the entire motherboard to do it. So it's a very good PC for £700. It's got, by the way, I think did I mention it? I should say it again. The graphics card has 16GB of VRAM. The Steam machine only has 8, and the Steam machine's VRAM is not even as powerful as mine, and the CPU is not even as powerful. My CPU alone in my gaming PC runs at, I think, takes up more power than the whole of the Steam machine. And it costs, this is the greatest part. The 512 gigabyte Steam machine, my gaming PC actually costs £200 less, just under £200 less than the Steam machine, and it's so much better. Like, so much better. So it's kind of insane that I was able to get that kind of deal. So yeah, if they release the Wolverine game, sure, I'll play it. But it has to be for PC. I'm not buying a PlayStation if they're removing disc support. PS6 but was one I was going to go for, but not anymore. I already have a PS5 and it was $450 on Amazon, says Jess. Yeah, that's because you got it back in the day when it started. That really should have been like a high price, because normally the prices go down, but now they're going up. It's a crazy topsy-turvy reverse world that we're living in. But yeah, that's what I've got. Eric got a stacked PC. Jesus, how much did it cost to watch Flamingo? It only cost me £700. It would normally cost, so it cost me $700, but it would normally cost like, I think, $1,400, maybe even more. But the guy that sold it, he relisted it. Hi, Cyber Hunter. He relisted it. And this is after, I think when he put it up first, it was over £1,000, but I think he couldn't sell it. So he relisted it, and it was a pickup only. So I think that was a big thing in my favor. And I went down there. The guy was nice. I tested it out and everything. We had a good chat. And he installed the 007 First Light game, and I tried the stage at the airport, which is supposed to be very heavy on the GPU and everything. It ran very well. So yeah, I've got it. I've not bought the 007 First Light game yet, though, because I'm so busy making videos right now. I haven't got time to play it, so I thought I'll wait. Maybe the price will go down by the time I do free up some time. But I did max out the Guardians of the Galaxy game on it with ray tracing and everything at 4K native, and it looked amazing on my OLED monitor with that PC. So I've basically got my gaming, I'm future-proofed in terms of gaming for the next several years to come, for sure. So yeah, what was the average FPS? Anime, we can answer that on our next Discord call next week when we do our next watch party, because I just realized I should be asking people, what questions do you have about everything we've just talked about here, and I've not done that yet. So hold that thought. Save it for when we get to the next Discord call, which will be next Sunday, a week from now. I don't know what movie we'll be watching this time, but I'll figure it out. If you guys have any ideas, be sure to let me know. G-Gamer says, yeah, I wanted to ask about Marvel. Whatever happened to the Eternals? The Eternals have been banished, and I don't think you're ever going to see them again, because no one cares. Apparently, I heard... No, we're not at the Q&A yet, Khan. I'm answering questions about this. The Q&A is meant to be when I switch back to the next screen, or the previous screen. But yeah, the Eternals are not coming back. In fact, it was rumored, or not rumored, it was from leaks that were saying that Kevin Feige was trying to convince Bob Iger to let him make Eternals 2. And Bob Iger said no, because he thought that it wasn't going to make any money. So he said no. What do you think about BP3? Oh, Black Panther 3, Eric. Well, I liked the first Black Panther a lot. The second movie I thought was... It was okay. I mean, they tried, in all honesty, because what could they do when T'Challa was... Chadwick Boseman died. Like, what could they do after that? It was very difficult, so I don't envy them at all. But what I do think is that this one could have a potential of being good, but at the same time, it really is hard to have a Black Panther movie without T'Challa. Let's see. Fireboy says, what do you think of the Deadpool recasting? Oh, that's a very good question. I should have talked about that. I'm very happy with it, because this guy, he was in The Long Walk. You should watch that movie if you haven't. He was really, really good in that. Like, so good. So, I actually can see him making it work, I think. Because he was really good in The Long Walk. So, he can definitely make it work. Kevin! Generous Kevin. Always here to do these super chats. He says, both Halo and Wolverine will be on discs, consoles, and games that will be worth the money someday. And is GTA only digital because they probably can't fit the game in the disc? No. Because here's the thing. With discs, you can do two things. One, you can put the game data on the disc, And then you can have the PlayStation Network install the rest of the data. Once you put it in, you know, there'll be a certain amount of data on the disk. Then there'll be more that you can install through the PlayStation. This means that you'll save a bunch of storage space on your hard drive on your PlayStation 5, because a lot of the game is on the disk. Then anything extra you need will be saved to your internal storage. So no, it's got nothing to do with the fact that there's no space. Secondly, the other thing that will happen with discs is that you'll have 2 discs in the case. You'll have the one disc, but then you'll have a bonus disc that has additional data on there. The Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate game, I think, had that there. Where a lot of the extra data was on a second disc. So no, it's got nothing to do with that. They're just doing it because they're trying to transition people away from physical media. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was Sony that actually made a deal with Rockstar and said, look, most people are going to be playing your Grand Theft Auto game on PlayStation anyway, let's be honest. So they says, let's do a deal with you. And I'm sure they did a deal and paid them a bunch of money and says, here, get rid of the physical disc for it and help us transition people to digital. We can say, look how many people bought the game on digital, but really that's an unfair thing for Sony to do because it's GTA. GTA 6 is like one of the only games that will get this much sales, so of course it's going to get sales. But to say that, see, people are fine with buying stuff all digital is like, that's not a like-for-like comparison. That was an unfair thing. That was them manipulating the statistics there, because they knew GTA 6 was basically like a once-in-a-lifetime experience type of thing until the next GTA game comes out. But basically, if they reversed it and says, okay, you can only buy GTA 6 on physical media, then everyone would have bought the physical version, and everyone would be buying physical disc drives. But they just did it the other way. So imagine if we did that and then said, see, no one's buying digital. It's like, no, that's not a fair way to basically consolidate all of it. But that's what they were doing here. They were saying, see, everyone bought it on digital. Or everyone's getting a digital version of the game. They're fine with digital. It's like, no, they're not fine with it. They're just... Grand Theft Auto is one of those games where they're just, even if they don't like it, they're just going to be willing to go with it if it means playing the game. So yeah, it's just a mess is what it is. It's Sony trying to force us into this future that we don't want. It's the same with the latest Mortal Kombat game. What happened with the Mortal Kombat game? I must have missed it. Big Bash says, I got back from the Odyssey. It was amazing. Oh wow, cool. Be sure to let us know on the Discord. For those of you that don't know, Big Bash is on the Discord. Be sure to let us know on the Discord what you thought. I'll be curious to read. Once the stream is over, I can go and take a look. The end of physical media is sad, but to tell you the truth, I haven't bought not a physical game in years. Well, like I said, I just bought a physical game here. My younger brother, he collects a bunch of DS games. I think he's got like 20 DS games in his collection right now. And you can see I've got a bunch of games behind me. I've not bought a physical game in a long time in terms of a brand new game because I don't own a PlayStation 5. I don't own a brand new console. Although I did get a Crash game on the PS4 recently, so I did get a PS4 game recently. So yeah, I still buy games physically. And 10 years from now, I'll still be able to play all my PlayStation 4 games, my PS Vita games, and my 3DS games. And PS Vita, in the PS Vita's case, Sony have pulled... the PlayStation Store support from the PS Vita's PlayStation Store. So that means you can't buy any of these digitally anymore on the PS Vita. So again, physical media really matters. I can play those games on my PS Vita anytime I want to. Yeah, Big Bash still has his PS3 discs. Rohan, I didn't know they did a DC mobile game instead of Injustice 3. Here's hoping they still make Injustice 3. And Dog in the House says, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. It's almost like they are all in a race to burn their company. It kind of is. That's a funny way of putting it. The thing is, they're trying to move to this all-digital future, but the thing is... they don't have a good reputation with supporting their customers and their products on this digital store. So if they want people to move over to the digital store, they got to give a great service. That's why people have moved on to Steam with PlayStation or Steam with PC or GOG with PC, where you actually own the game. I only buy disc games, as JWK. Yeah, you and me both. I have bought digital games on PlayStation 4 when I was buying discs a couple times, but that's because there were some killer deals there. But I would never pay full price for a digital game ever. What are your thoughts on Marvel's Comic-Con announcements, Eric? Well, I thought that they actually had quality over quantity is what it looks like. And that's what I think they should be prioritizing. Instead of having a big slate where it's just a bunch of random stuff, essentially, like what they've been doing over the last couple of Marvel Comic-Con announcements, it did feel refreshing to see less stuff on there. It's like, okay, take your time, make it good. Hopefully we can go from there. They don't need to have a huge slate anymore. If Microsoft said we will still do physical discs, it would be the first win they get over PlayStation, says Shark Leak. Yes, it would be. That is why there's been rumors coming around recently that Microsoft are looking to put a disk drive in their next Xbox. Because prior to that, the reports were all saying that Microsoft are dropping the disk drive. But maybe they see this as a win over PlayStation, something they've not had in, it's been over a decade now. The Xbox One really hurt them. The PlayStation 4 kicked their ass so hard that they weren't able to get back up. And now they think that we could potentially get a bit of a reprieve here, so I think that's what they're trying to do. And a lot of you are watching this Avengers Doomsday video of mine, so thank you very much. Please do, like I said, go onto the video, give it a thumbs up if you haven't, because that helps the video in the algorithm, and also hit the hype button. As many of you as you can. If you hit that hype button, like I said, that also really helps. So yeah, basically, if you could do that, I'd appreciate that. I bought Platinum Plus for my PS5. It's actually not bad for the price. Yeah, but they could increase that price anytime they want. That's the thing. Right now, they feel like they have to compel you to stay on the service. But what happens when they are like, well, the only way you can play games is through our service? That's when they're going to start to take liberties with the price, because they have no real competition at that point. There's no way for you to there's no reason for them to compete with physical game prices or secondhand game shop prices. So they can price it at whatever they want. The same with the PlayStation service. Trust me, Sony are a greedy company and they get real cocky. Just look at the PS3, which almost killed them. So you can't trust Sony, basically. And when they go all digital, they'll think we hold all the cards, we can do whatever we want. I bought digital games and I love them, but it still doesn't mean I own them. I agree. Adam Grunther, great to see you here, bud. It's been a while since I've been doing these streams due to the crazy summer heat, so I'm glad to see you've dropped by here. Did you ever get around to finishing Spider Noir? If so, what do you think? No, because I was watching it before the summer heat came in. I got to watch 2 episodes, and I haven't continued after that because the heat got so insane I couldn't continue watching up here, and I wanted to watch it upstairs because I've got an OLED monitor, which is really good with the black and whites. You know, it's really good at producing it. I watched the first episode with my sister downstairs on our TV, and it's a very good TV, but the colors didn't look as good as on my OLED screen, so I want to finish watching the show on my OLED screen. And because I've had less time to edit videos due to this heat, my time in my attic room editing is very limited. Anytime I've been here, I've been spending a lot more time editing videos and writing videos, recording videos, and all that stuff, that I've not really had time to watch stuff. I've only, in the last, since this crazy summer heat, I've only watched the Avatar Aang movie. Yeah, that was basically it on my projector. I watched the Avatar Aang movie a couple days ago. I'm working on the review for that. And I've watched more movies in the cinema, believe it or not, than I have in my own room or home. So, yeah, I've not had time, in other words. I can't say. I've only seen 2 episodes, but I really liked what I saw. My younger brother, he's watched more, but he kind of got bored. I think at episode 4, maybe 5. And he's not watched any more beyond that. So, yeah. But no, I'm sad to say I haven't been able to. The G-Gamer says... Oh, hang on. Shark Leak. I'll get to you in G-Gamer in a second. What do you think of Doom's costume? I actually really like Doom's costume. It looks great. And not... Sorry, my throat is getting sore. Not only does it look great, but I love his mask. If you watch my Avengers Doomsday video, I actually did say that death stare he gave to Thor was great. The VFX were crap, especially when you look at Thor. He didn't even look green screen into the shot properly. But that death stare that Robert Downey Jr. was giving him was fan-freaking-tastic. It really was. That was awesome. That was. So yeah, I love the costume. It's just the circumstances around it which should be better for a movie like this. Big Bash says he saw the Aang movie today and really enjoyed it. Cool. I'm not going to tell you what I thought. Eric, beside Last Airbender, what is your favorite anime? Yu-Gi-Oh! Last Airbender doesn't really count as anime, though. It's more of a tribute to anime. It's really American animation. How long does it take to make a Versus video? Just curious to know. Many, many hours. It depends on the Versus video, but it takes me a long time. The Carrie Versus video took me a month. That took me a month, and I was really, really ill. Even when I was recording, I think the story segment, I was fine. But from the Carrie segment onwards, it was basically a journey because I was very, very ill. But I tried extra hard. Like, literally, my voiceover was twice as long than it normally was, which led to me doing twice as much work as I normally do with my voiceovers. Because I was ill, and the whole time I was ill while I was editing those longer voiceovers. But I put in extra work to make sure you guys couldn't tell I was ill with my voiceover. And it was really hard. Adam Grunter says, hopefully you can finish it soon. Hot take, Spider Noir is my favorite Spider-Man related thing since Spider-Man 2. Wow. Wow, that's impressive. I'm really glad you enjoyed it that much. I really want to finish it, but yeah, like I said, it's been crazy. I'm going to try once I finish, because right now this month has been crazy. Not only with trailer reactions, which I've done a ton of trailer reactions on my Patreon, but it's been crazy in terms of the amount of movies that I've been releasing. So I gotta review all this stuff. My script for the Odyssey is done. I'm going to record that. I was going to record it today, but my voice is gone right now, so I'll do it tomorrow. I'm also going to do my Avatar Aang review, and then I'm also going to do my review for Spider-Man Brand New Day when that comes. Then I'm going to get back to Versus videos. And I'm going to get back to other reviews, and I got to get to G Gamer's commission video. I'm trying to get to all this stuff. And also next week there's going to be a couple of 30 degrees days where it's going to be really hot again, so I need to manage my time. But yeah, very, very busy. Very, very tricky, all of this. We don't talk about Fantastic. No, we don't. G-Gamer says, for Avengers Doomsday, when it comes out, thoughts on making a Versus video with another Marvel movie? Yeah, potentially. Like, maybe with Infinity War, possibly. Show which version of the movie did it better. You know, switching to another. Yeah, I could do Infinity War versus Doomsday. Yeah, I'll probably do that. But yeah, I will tell you this. I'll probably drop Dune. Because Dune is one of those movies where I keep forgetting what happened. I've seen the first movie when it came out during the pandemic. I did not watch it again leading up to before Dune 2 came out, which I think was a mistake. I should have watched it again, then watched Dune 2. And now Dune 3 is coming out. I don't think I'll be able to have enough bandwidth to cover both that and Doomsday, so I think I'll probably just end up covering Avengers Doomsday. Dune 3 I probably won't really cover. I do have an idea for a video, like literally about a couple hours before doing this live stream. I have got an idea for a potential video to do between Dune 3 and Avengers Doomsday, but I don't know if I have... I'll see if I can try to get that video done. There is some kind of comparison I want to make right now at this early stage, just with the trailer phases, which I'm considering. So that's all I'll say right now. Anime says, I still haven't seen Dune 2. Yeah, do yourself a favor and don't make the same mistake I did. Watch Dune 1 again before you watch Dune 2, because I feel like there's stuff that you'll probably want to refresh yourself with, so I'd recommend that. Yes, Adam Grunther, I am doing another Mortal Kombat Versus. Yes, I'm still going to be doing a Mortal Kombat Versus video. The Supergirl video is coming out too. That is done. I just got to add one little bit at the end. And G-Gamer, don't worry. You and me are going to be watching Megamind on Discord together as an apology for that. You and me will be watching it again together as I take additional notes and write my review. I haven't forgotten. I offered you that. We're going to be doing that. Are you looking forward to the Insomniac Wolverine game? Not really. I think they made me wait way too long. That it's just I've just become an expert at waiting. I think they've made me wait way too long where I'm just kind of I don't care anymore. Also, I've not bought a PlayStation 5, and now the prices have gone way up due to the storage and RAM crisis. And the PlayStation 5 is approaching the end of its lifespan because next year the PS6 is going to come out. So it's kind of like the worst time for new people to buy a PlayStation 5 right now. So what my plan was originally was to wait for the PS6 to come out, buy that, and then via backwards compatibility play the Wolverine game on that, and also through buying a PlayStation 6, procure myself a brand new 7-year console life cycle. But now that we've heard there's going to be no disc support with the PlayStation 6, I don't care about that. So I'm in a situation where I'm not going to be able to get it on the PS5, I'm not going to get it on the PS6. I just can't play it. Unless they release a PC version, I'll play that. So it's really on Sony at this point. Anime, I know they're not bringing it to Steam, but that's the only way I think I will. Adam Grunther, I kind of agree with you about Dune. It's not really quite my kind of movie either. Just the style in which it's done. Denis Villeneuve has said that he doesn't really like movies with dialogue, like he thinks movies shouldn't have dialogue. I think I'm paraphrasing. He said something to that effect. Meanwhile, Christopher Nolan, he didn't like it when you could hear his dialogue, so he tried to block out the sound in his movie, and Denis Villeneuve didn't want to have any dialogue in his movie at all. So, yeah, one wants to block the dialogue, the other doesn't want any dialogue at all, so they make quite a pair, those two. But yeah, Dune, it just, yeah, it is kind of boring to me too, Fireboy, and I know people, like, have a great reverence towards it, and I don't want to step on any of their toes about it. But I feel like I'm just not qualified to really talk about Dune. I could talk about his filmmaking, because his filmmaking is fan-freaking-tastic. Compare the Dune 3 trailer to the Avengers Doomsday trailer, and you can see one looks so beautiful, so well crafted, so well put together, in-camera locations and everything. And then you see Doomsday, which looks so awful and fake. Like the bit when Thor slams Stormbreaker onto Doom and he holds it up with his two fingers, there's no blowback of his hood, of Doom's hood. Like it doesn't seem like there's no wind or anything when there should be like some impact going on, but there isn't. Just goes to show the problem with them. They don't really plan any of this. You can tell when they're shooting this. Eric, remember when I bought the Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone book? I'm 142 pages, and I'm in love with it. Yeah, it's a really great book. Just wait till you get to 4, 5, 6, and 7, where the movies cut out so much. You'll really appreciate that, bud. So yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. Phantom Popfire says, Eric, what is your favorite Batman Arkham game? My favorite Batman Arkham game is Batman Arkham City, without a doubt. It's my second favorite game of all time, that. Anime says there was a sneak peek for Dune 3 right before the Odyssey. Cool. I saw a trailer, I think, before the Odyssey. Which then made me annoyed when I saw Zendaya in the Odyssey, because I was like, looks like she's playing the exact same role from what I saw in that trailer, essentially. Dog in the House says, I'm sorry, that's where I have to disagree with you on, Eric. The Doomsday CGI looks great in my opinion. Which, do you think the Doomsday CGI, which CGI do you think looks great? Because I said when Thor waxes Stormbreaker onto his two fingers. Like, watch that shot again, you'll see there is no blowback, like there's no wind that comes or anything, because he's the god of thunder, Thor, so when he, like, swings his Stormbreaker axe, there's got to be, like, a shockwave. But when he hits Doom, there is no shockwave. It's like there's no blowback or no air or wind that goes backwards. It's just very... It looks like there's almost like... It just feels like it's not tactile, like it's not really there. JWK says, wow, we have the same opinion on Batman Arkham City. Yeah. Oh, you mean in all the trailer, including the Thor moment. Did you think that looked good when Thor whacked him and then it cut back to Thor after the two fingers shot when you look at Thor? And Thor looks... He looks green screened in, like so obviously green screened in. Shark Leak says the CGI looks fine. I do agree, it's that one shot of Thor. Yeah. Also, if you look at the way shadows are done, like I watched The Odyssey recently where Christopher Nolan does everything in camera, the way shadows are incorporated and lighting, you can tell it's organic. But in the sets that they were, I don't even know if they are sets in the Doomsday, what we saw, or if it was green screen. But when you watch all those heroes in that one room and all these other rooms, it doesn't look like they're lit organically or they got shadows on them organically. It looks like it's all CGI stuff. Like it's all, like they lit everything very well and then they just darkened it with color correcting later. Whereas Christopher Nolan and all these other filmmakers, they actually light the shot to make sure the shot looks very good in camera. And, you know, it makes it look more organic, more tactile, looks more artistic. But Marvel just make everything very nicely well lit. So then in CGI later, they can add CGI or they can add shadows or remove shadows. That kind of thing. It just doesn't look like a beautiful looking movie. It looks very flat because of that. But I will say it looks better than the previous Marvel movies, but that's because Marvel's movies have been increasingly looking worse. You remember what Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania looked like? And Dog in the House says, Eric, is the Odyssey review coming? Maybe a versus video with Troy. No versus video with Troy, because I've never seen Troy. I wanted to watch it when I was a kid, but I never was able to. And also, I have to, just like Dune, with the Odyssey, I've got to look into it more. And I don't think I have that kind of... I've got to look into it more. I've got to do a lot more research. I don't think I really have that in me right now. Because it's kind of like with Dune. People know it. They really know it. And I know in this short span of time that you guys want a versus video from me, I'm not going to know it that well. So I don't think it's wise for me to do that right now. But I will be reviewing the Odyssey, but not a versus video with Troy. Plus, they're both two separate stories. Troy is kind of like the prequel, and then the Odyssey is kind of like the story that takes place after Troy. So, yeah. Adam Grunther, yes, the next versus video is the Mortal Kombat versus video, yeah. And the good thing is that because the movie is out on digital now, I can use footage from the actual movie. Rather than having to describe stuff like I was doing in my original script of the versus video, I can now point to, like, actual scenes from the movie. G-Gamer says, I thought it would be funny to see Odyssey versus Oppenheimer. I'll tell you right now, Oppenheimer wins. Doomsday is supposedly 2 hours and 45 minutes long. I don't think that's enough. Over 60 characters appearing and Doctor Doom is a lot. I expected Doomsday to be 3 hours, 45 minutes long. Yeah, Movie Nerd, they're not going to release... they're not going to release something that long, I can tell you. But yeah, it does seem like it's needed, doesn't it? Adam Grunther says, hell yeah, super excited to see what you thought and hear your opinions on how they handled Johnny Cage, Katana, and Shao Kahn. Yeah, stay tuned. I fell asleep during Oppenheimer, but the atomic bomb scene woke me up. I was drooling and everything, lol. Yeah, I actually enjoyed Oppenheimer. I thought Nolan did a very good job. Although, funnily enough, I've never seen the movie again since I saw it in the cinema. Mortal Kombat 2 was so much better than Mortal Kombat 2021. I'm not going to comment on that. I don't want to give anything away. So I'm not going to say nothing. Don't remind me of that movie, sir, says Rohan. Big Bash says... Big Bash. He has, I love Cole Young. Haven't seen Oppenheimer since release either. Been tough for me to find the time to do it. Yeah, both that and the fact that I feel like I just didn't want to. I haven't got time either, and I've got a lot of other stuff to watch with my time to catch up on. But yeah, I just didn't quite want to watch that either. Eric, are you going to watch Godzilla Minus Zero? Says Jess. Heck yeah, of course. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Oh, you're trolling Big Bash in that case. What are your opinions on Doom's suit and overall look in the posters and the trailer? I think it looks good. I think that one poster that came out before this one, the one where he's like kneeling and looking almost like a godly like figure, I think that was a bit much, but I like this suit, this poster better. He's such a great character, surely doesn't die in the sequel. I like how quick they kill. Oh, I'm not going to be saying these stuff out loud in case people haven't seen. Who's worse, Cole Young or Aquafina? Man, Big Bash, you really like to push my buttons, don't ya? I say that Aquafina is worse, without a doubt. Big Bash says Doom was so poorly set up it hurts. It does. Honestly, I like the Doomsday trailer, but I didn't feel as hype as I did with the Infinity War trailer somehow. Yeah, I explained that in the Doomsday video I literally just put up, like about an hour or two before this stream. Yeah, I feel the exact same way, but the exact same way. What did you think of the trailer for the Wolverine Insomniac game? There's a story trailer that came out. I don't know if I watched the whole thing, because I watched it on Instagram. I will say it looks good. The stuff I'm seeing, it looks good. I'm just not crazy about it, because I had to wait too long. And I think there is a thing where if you wait too long, there is an expiration date on how long you're willing to wait. And I think they announced it way too early, and now it's coming out. And I'm like, yeah, I've lived all this time without playing the game. I can live with that without playing it now. Like, I'm not excited for it. I wish I was. But they've made me wait too long. It's just not in me anymore. I just can't bring myself to feel excited for it. Also, on my Steam Deck here, I've got X-Men Origins Wolverine portably. And that gives me my, you know, like basically, it gives me the Wolverine chopping and cutting action that I want, and limb severing action, and it looks more fast-paced than the game that we're getting on the, you know, from Insomniac. Like, with one cut you can slash someone's arm off, whereas in this game you're doing a lot of, like, it's like you're scraping them so much with it. It's like, when are they gonna die? It looks good, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, I'm just not as excited as I thought I would be, which is bizarre. But this is the game I normally would get on day one, though. So if I had a PS5, I would get it on day one, but yeah. And Dog in the House says Aquafina is worse than all the Eternals combined. Yes, it is. Excited for GTA 6? No. I never got on the GTA train because I never had a PlayStation 3 or Xbox. So when GTA 4 came out, I wasn't able to join in. And then I felt like I kind of lost the hype, so I didn't get GTA 5 either. I don't know if I had a PS4 or not when GTA 5 came out. Probably I didn't. I can't remember now. But GTA 6 is coming out. If I play it, it'll be on the PC, of course. But I don't know. I'm not hyped for GTA like everyone else is. I played Liberty City Stories on the PSP when I was a kid. I loved that. But I don't know, I'm just not as hyped for GTA like everyone else. Because I've not played 4, I've not played 5. Jumping into GTA 6, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. It feels like I have to play the other two before I get to this one. Do you have some confidence for Brand New Day, says Miles. I would if the trailers were better, but I don't know, the trailers have not hyped me. There's just something flat about the trailers. I don't think these are well-made trailers. I think the previous Spider-Man movies actually had better trailers than Brand New Day did. So, yeah. Apparently there's a new musical theme for him now, which that's actually a good thing, because they've established him more as Spider-Man here than what he was before, which was just Spider-Boy. So it makes sense to give him a new theme, now that he's changed. So yeah, I've not listened to the theme. I'll listen to it for the first time when I see the movie in a few days. So, yeah. Bad trailers are peak, says Arch Flamingo. If it makes you underestimate the movie and makes you surprised when you go to actually see the movie, then yeah, sure, give me every bad trailer you can. No Way Home trailer had me hyped. Brand New Day has me curious. Yeah, I hope the Sadie Sink thing is worth it and doesn't feel like it's just like a bunch of hype just so they could make you curious and go see the movie, which it probably is. But yeah, Sadie Sink, I'm not really excited for her. Like I said, she's a one-note actress with everything I've seen her in. Moody teen is what she always plays. Marvel just needs Beyond Spider-Verse to beat anything DC. Probably. Eric, thoughts on GTA 6 being same price as Mario Kart World costing? Makes more sense. Mario Kart World is just another Mario Kart game, but GTA 6 is GTA 6. The fact they're not making it $100 for the main version, I think they are for... was it 9? Well, they charged 2 prices for GTA 6, and I can't remember the second price. But for extra content, they're charging you more. I can't wait for Ghost Rider to not happen, considering what happened to Blade, lol. Yes, it could potentially happen that way, but we'll have to wait and see. At least Noah Schnapp isn't in Brand New Day. He can't act for shit. He bloody well can't. Whenever he tries to act all sad and crying like, I'm like, it feels like it's the same cry he's doing all the time. So, yeah. Thank you, N-Dog in the house. $100 is the price for GTA 6 and the other one, yeah. Yeah, they're getting away with it on GTA 6. Hopefully they just don't set a trend and try to make all games cost that. That would not be good. I'm gonna head out. See you next time, says JWK. £70 for standard. That was it, anime. I was looking at pounds, not dollars. £70 for standard, $90 for ultimate. It wasn't $90, it was £90. That makes sense. So yeah, thanks JWK. Gary Loke says, will you do a versus video of Moana and the remake? Nah. I did a versus video of the Moana 1 and 2, what feels like not so long ago. I guess it is, but it feels like it wasn't so long ago. I don't want to have to do another Moana versus video, especially because you guys know I never really loved the first Moana. So again, to go back to it just to compare it to the remake, I was like, nah, I'm just not gonna. I don't think Dwayne Johnson is worthy of a versus video with this. I've said what I've said, because I've done trailer reactions on my Patreon, if you want to know my thoughts on the remake. And what I said is a lot of the stuff you've already heard me saying about remakes. I compared Dwayne Johnson's performance from the live-action remake to the animated and stuff like that. So if you want to see what I think of it, check out my trailer reactions on Patreon. You'll get basically what I thought of those trailers, and my analysis on those trailers is pretty much, I think, what my thoughts are on the final movie if I go to see that. So there you go, they're there, if you want to know my thoughts. Do you think the Cobra Kai ending is better or the Stranger Things ending? I still haven't finished Stranger Things. Yeah, I still haven't finished it. And I don't really care to. I've just heard nothing but disappointments from people who have seen it. So, yeah. Did you hear that Johnny Depp is coming back to acting? He's going to play Ebenezer Scrooge and a prequel. Yeah, I have heard. I'm very happy for him. I'm going to watch that Ebenezer Scrooge movie and review it. That's the plan, at least. Even though normally I wouldn't, just because of Johnny Depp. Because it feels like it was a journey since the turd basically turned him into something he was not. And now he's back. That's great to see. I'm very happy for him. So yeah, as a celebratory thing, yes, I definitely would. Yeah, Jess, they're divorced. Yeah, anime Cobra Kai's ending was good. It was very good. Kind of came full circle with the first movie, the original, which was really cool. Do I have a commission lineup? I think I've only got one more commission video left to do, and yeah, it's all pretty much clear. So if anyone wants to add commission videos on, by all means, head on over to my Patreon and yeah, find the commission section, and I should be able, or get in touch, and we can talk. We can talk commissions. G Gamer knows our chance. Oh, Anime says G Gamer knows our chance. Yeah. Eric, can I ask anything, or does it have to be relatable? Chicken Wing, you can try to ask me something. Just make sure it's nothing too personal. Anime and G Gamer have both been talking to each other on Discord. It's kind of like they're both having like their own little in conversation right here that only those two know about. Khan, yes, we are in the Q&A. Somewhere we were in the Q&A, but I like this visual. So, yeah. I guess we were in the Q&A a long time ago and I didn't even realize it because people started asking other questions. Kind of is indicative of what people really think of this whole MCU panel at San Diego Comic-Con. Is that a lot of people were just not that interested by it. It's like they were kind of saying things that they've already know. I think a lot of people like to hear about Ghost Rider. Black Panther 3 brought some news. Avengers Doomsday told us about Peggy Carter. But aside from that, nothing really new was told to us here, was it? I think they got another trailer of Doom. I actually downloaded that trailer, by the way. It got leaked. They showed an extra trailer. It got leaked. Someone recorded it. And I actually downloaded it before it got removed on YouTube. So if you want to see, I'll share it on our Discord server. If you want to see it, I'll put it there. Chicken Wing, I think the idea of John Wick 5 is like, fine, if they want to make another one, I'll watch it. But if they want to end on 4, I'm fine with them ending on 4. Yeah, the other trailer was pretty good. I'll put it on the Discord and, yeah, you guys can check it out. To get to the private Discord server, you just got to go over to Patreon and you'll find the Discord perk. But the Discord family member perk. Because these go down a lot on YouTube. They're only up there for like a couple hours and then it gets taken down. No, Gary, look, I've not watched Season 2 of Netflix's Avatar. I don't want to watch Season 2 of Netflix's Avatar. Oh, it's, Season 1 hurt too much. You guys have seen my Versus video. And I didn't want to do another. Also, I've got a second YouTube channel. Let me see. Where did I put it? A second YouTube channel where I actually take segments of my Versus videos and put them there for people to see in individual small segments, and then I direct them to my main channel. So I'll give you guys... Oh, I got 42 subscribers here now, so more of you have been joining, which is very, very kind. But yeah, here's my new channel. My second channel. Oh, thanks, 10Rexy. I'm glad you're subscribed. So if you want to basically see just segments of my Versus video, you actually can through that channel. It's Eric Carter Plus, and I will be putting bonus videos there. So if I want to do commentary tracks on some of my Versus videos, for example, or other bonus videos, they will end up on that channel. But I need to try to get to 1,000 subscribers. So 1,000 subscribers, certain amount of views, and then I can monetize that channel, and then, you know, that channel will be looked at and raised higher on the algorithm. So basically, if many of you can subscribe as possible, that'll be great. It'll be nice to have more of you over there. And then once I've gotten a certain... I don't want the channel to look like a mess to newcomers yet. So basically, once I've gotten a certain level, I'll then start putting up bonus videos, like commentary videos. I did a commentary for my siblings with the Carrie Versus video. We paused it and we watched it, and I told them behind the scenes stuff, how hard and tricky it was to make certain parts of the video and to do certain effects that I did, how tricky and hard it was to do the title cards of the story segment, the Carrie's mother. My music choices, I went through a lot of the interesting stuff behind the scenes there, how I found my music choices. I also went through a certain joke that got cut, but the punchline to the joke stayed in the video. And it's like a whole behind the scenes thing. And my sister, when I said I'm thinking of doing behind the scenes stuff, she goes, of Carrie. Then I said, I wasn't really thinking of it. Then she goes, you should, because what you told us was really interesting. And I didn't know. I usually always have like I always get like imposter syndrome. So I was like, was it interesting? I thought that they might think I was babbling. But she goes, my sister was like, no, that was all interesting stuff. It made the video, watching the video better. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And she liked the video on its own as well. So yeah, that was, I've said that I love that Carrie versus video. I love the way it came together. And the fact I made it when I was really ill. I was doing the voiceover when I was really ill. I was editing it when I was really ill. That was one heck of a journey making that video. And I also had to advertise my brother's book with a sponsor segment in the last day of the video when I was going to put it up on YouTube. That's when I made his segment. And I also made the thumbnail and all that stuff. So yeah, share that Carrie video if you can too. That's like I said, that's the video as a YouTuber I feel like to this day I'm the most proud of, is that versus video. What was one of your guys' questions here? What made you commit to the Master of the Universe versus video over the Mortal Kombat versus video? I just sat down and I thought, the thoughts in my head, they seem to have a structure to them. So I thought, let's write them down quickly. And I thought the versus video would be quick. I thought it would be a 10-minute versus video, maybe 13 minutes, 15 max. I did not expect it to be the 20-25 minute versus video that it was. That was a surprise. So that's why it took longer than I expected. But that video, it came clear to me. Then editing it was tricky. If you watch the beginning of that video when I put the 3 intros together of the He-Man, Eye of the Power transformation, I had to edit that together. The spoiler text, which the little glitchy effect I did with the spoiler text was a very last minute addition, because I picked the music for the intro and it just sounded like a VHS retro version of the He-Man theme. And I was like, well, if I'm going to do a retro text, I guess I need a retro looking text if I'm going to have retro music. So yeah, the retro text look was only done just because of that retro music. Otherwise, it would have just been the same text that you saw for the segments, but just saying spoiler. Eric, how does it feel to have been doing YouTube for 18 years? It feels insane to know it's been that long, and to know that you guys have been watching for all this time. To know that you guys... Hi, Billy, another patron member, Discord family member. But yeah, to know that you guys have been watching for all this time, to know that you guys are still asking for more videos, the fact that you guys are actually supporting me on Patreon because you like my content that much, words can't describe what that means. I never thought anyone would be interested in watching my stuff when I was starting out. And to know that a lot of the videos I got have lots of views, and then to know that there's still a lot of people that are sticking with me, it's really nice. So, yeah. Thanks for that question, Big Bash. And Dog in the House goes, wow, 18 years, that's crazy, I know. How do you make the text for versus videos as 10 Rexy? I can't just... There's a lot of different styles of text. If you watch the versus videos, you'll see I've done so many different text styles. You just have to... I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro, that's what I'm usually editing with. The Carrie video, I actually went and did something far more advanced for the text, the segment text that you see, and the score text. If you watch that versus video, you'll see I put so much hard work into that Carrie versus video. It was insane. But yeah, they all vary in difficulty. It depends what you want to accomplish and what style you want to achieve. With Carrie, I just knew I wanted that... What's the writing called when it's all joint and looks like writing you find on a wedding invitation card? What do they call that kind of writing? Where it's all skinny-like and it's all like connected, looking all fancy. Calligraphy, was it? Oh yeah, I think it's calligraphy. It must be calligraphy. Yeah. Cursive? That's probably a word. Oh, no problem, Billy. Calligraphy, yes, yeah. So yeah, I don't know why, maybe because of Carrie herself, but I was like, I just want it to look like calligraphy. It just seemed to fit her logo for me. So Carrie, Carrie's mother, all this stuff. And that was very tricky to do. If you watch how I did the calligraphy and how I made all the letters connect to each other and the right size, then the background, I had that background. It was a watery looking background. It was all blue, I think, and everything, or white. And I basically color corrected it to look all pink, so it matched, and it just worked. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite segments that has all this text to it. Like, you know, all my segments that have the story segments and text, character segments. It's one of my favorites of that. Eric, where do you see yourself in 5 years from a YouTube perspective? Well, from a YouTube perspective, I'm hoping that YouTube will actually be like a viable career path. I'm hoping, because I love what I do, and I want this to be like the thing I do for a living. So hopefully it means more patrons and more people as part of the Discord family members, because I look at YouTube as like a second family, but on Discord, the perk I call is not just join the private Discord like what a lot of people do. I call it the Discord family members, because I actually do look at everyone in the Discord server as a family member. Like, I have instant access to them all the time. We can message each other all the time. We can stay updated. Just like how with my own brothers and sisters and family members, whenever I see a trailer or a certain topic, I'll share it and I'll ask people what they think. Or when I watch a movie, I'll let someone know what I think. Like I did that with The Odyssey. I said to everyone in the Discord server, I'm going to go watch The Odyssey right now. We'll let you know what I think when I get back. And when I got back, I let everyone know what I thought. It's just a very nice place to go. So I look at everyone on the Discord as a family member. And that's why I call the perk the Discord family member perk. And yeah, I'd love to have more Discord family members there where we all gain access and can chat with each other, have watch parties every 2 weeks, which is what we do. So growing that would be great. Growing the channel will be great. That's what I hope in 5 years, that the channel like gets bigger and you know, works as a career path too, because I love what I do. I love making content for you guys, and I love chatting with you guys. That's why I always wanted to do like a live stream every week, but now I've moved it to every 2 weeks, because every other week I'm on Patreon chatting with you guys there. Is that it was getting harder to chat with everyone with the comments. So I was like, I'll do a live stream every week, or now every 2 weeks, so I can chat with you guys on these, and we can, you know, if I can't answer your questions with the comments all the time, I can answer them here. And I've just spent over 2 hours doing so here as well. So yeah. You don't have the captain role, says Anime. Do I not? I probably should. Like, I never gave myself a captain role. All you guys did. And it's started out amusing, but it's really nice when people call you, say Captain Eric and stuff. Big Bash says, this has been the first stream in like a month. Yeah, because the summer heat was killing me. It's like an oven in the attic. It gets that hot. Yeah, Anime's got it right. We are definitely not a cult over there. Definitely not. Gary Loke says, yeah, I get you. It makes the same mistakes of the first season with more explaining and less showing. I think he's talking about Avatar Season 2. Especially with the viral meme on when Toph finds out she can metal bend. Oh, yeah. It makes the same mistakes as the first season with more explaining and less showing. Yeah, that's exactly what I feared. I thought the new showrunners would change that, but I guess not. Eric, I'm thinking of becoming a YouTuber since you've been on here for 18 years. Oh, cool. Yeah, find a topic you want to talk about, find your niche, and try to make it unique to yourself and put it out there. Get out there. Eric, are you... Josh Man is saying this. Eric, how are you doing today? I'm doing very well, thank you. And how's it going on your quick movie review on Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey? It's going very good. The script is finished. I was going to record it today, but I actually got... I actually had to go have food before this stream. And I set up the stream, I uploaded my recent video, the Marvel video talking about Doomsday. And I didn't get time to record the voiceover, and now my voice is going. It's much weaker than it was due to this talking for over 2 hours. So I'm going to record the voiceover tomorrow. My throat, I can actually feeling it it's getting sore right now. So yeah, Shark Leak, I will watch Backrooms. I haven't seen it, but I'll watch it and I'll put it up as a Let's Watch on Patreon. That's the idea. When I get time to, when the weather calms down, I'll do it. So yeah, have you played or heard of the game Dead by Daylight? I have heard about it. Yeah, zombie game. Oh wow, Anime seems surprised. He goes, "Oh my god, that is great." Yep, that's what I'll be doing. I've not seen it, so yeah. Eric, do you have any updates regarding to your channel, especially to upcoming videos, and what is the main reason you decided to push the stream for 2 weeks? Joshman, the reason I pushed the stream is because it is really hot. We're in the summer, and it got to like crazy heat levels, like 34 degrees. That's hot on any normal day, but this is the attic, where it feels so much hotter. When you get summers, it's so much hotter in the attic, and it feels like an oven in this room where it slowly cooks you. Your insides feel like they're slowly cooking, and I can't be in this room for live streams like that. I can't even be in this room to sleep when the heat is like that. I gotta stay up downstairs, stay up till like 2 or 3 in the morning. Only then can I come in here, and the weather is calmed down just enough to where I can sleep. And I have to sleep on top of the covers because it's so hot. It's that kind of crazy thing for me, so I have no choice. It's like I can't sleep that way, so I can't do a live stream that way either. I can't even do editing my videos that way. So I have had to pick my times when I've been able to edit in this room, and most of the time I couldn't. So I've been trying to get as many videos out as I could. Eric, I thought the UK was supposed to be cold. I've been twice and I needed a huge jacket. Probably you came at the wrong times then, but if you come at the summer heat, the heat is crazy. Anime, I'm glad you're looking forward to that Let's Watch. Like I said, when the weather calms down, I'll do it. Do you want to watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off for the next watch party, says Crazy Cat Lady. I think we talked about that. We could, but there was another one we talked about due to a movie coming out. What was it? On the Discord server, there was something else someone suggested. I don't think I wrote it down. What was it? Someone else suggested due to another movie coming out. Was it August? Is there a movie coming out? Let me see. What movies are coming out in August in theater? Eric, favorite movie YouTuber besides yourself, of course. I've been watching a lot of gaming PC related videos, and I like Moore's Law is Dead. I don't know if you've heard of him. He makes videos where he's talking about the state of the tech industry, just gives news updates and things. And I like the stuff he talks about and how he speculates on the business when it comes to PC specs, RAM, and all that kind of stuff. So Moore's Law is Dead is a channel that I really enjoy. Yeah, Crazy Cat Lady, I can't remember what it was. Someone else recommended something else for our next watch party, and it was something I thought was cool. It wasn't Ferris Bueller's Day Off, it was something else, but I can't remember it. No, I've not heard of Gaming Magic 13. Is he a good channel? Looney Tunes, that was it. Looney Tunes Back in Action. Yes, that was it. Thank you, G-Gamer. Who recommended that film? Itchy Joe, how you doing, bud? Crazy Cat Lady recommended it. Well, there you go, Crazy Cat Lady. That was a very good recommendation. Looney Tunes Back in Action is criminally underrated, says N-Dog in the house. Yeah, it is. Itchy Joe is for those of you that don't know, Itchy Joe is another Patreon member and a Discord family member. And yeah, we were just talking about what we'll do for the next watch party. I think it probably will be Looney Tunes Back in Action, a movie I've not seen since my childhood. But with the new Wile E. Coyote vs. Acme coming out next month, that would be a great one to do. What do you think? I still haven't seen that, says Anime. I miss 2D animation so much, says Big Bash. Me too. I remember the movie had some funny jokes in there too, and Brendan Fraser was in it. We haven't seen him in a long time, but I remember I liked seeing him in that film when I was a kid. Because of the mummy, of course. Have you seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the anime show? Captain Eric, says Rohan. I haven't. but I've been well aware of it. It looks interesting. Ichijo says never seen it. Sounds fun. All right, cool. It also has Steve Martin in there, but you would never recognize him with that orange colored wig that he has. He looks more like Danny Elfman in that movie, come to think of it. Have you seen the Day the Earth Blew Up yet? No, I haven't. That's another potential movie we could see. But no, I haven't. Yeah, I miss 2D animation so much as Big Bash. The new Avatar Aang movie is 2D animation, and it looks beautiful. I've not seen animation that just made me drop my jaw that much. It makes me really sad that Disney have just stopped 2D animation. Because with the technology they have now, 2D animation looks amazing. The Day the Earth Blew Up was hilarious. Yeah, we should watch it at some point then. Matthew Lillard interacted with Scooby and Back in Action, did he? Thoughts about the new Avatar series trailer? It looks good. It looks interesting. Eric, have you seen 3C Films? I've seen some of his videos, but not many. Killick White says, ranked all of the Transformers movies from worst to best. Sorry, being late to the stream. Don't worry about that, Killick. We're going to be ending the stream in a bit. All Disney's 3D films look the same. Yes, they do. There's an Insidious movie in August if you care. Yeah, there is, and I don't really care, to be honest. That franchise just keeps going, but it doesn't keep going in a good way, though. Joshman says, I do agree with you about Avengers Doomsday. I'm not excited about it, and I am not hyped about it. I'm just not looking forward to it. It is never going to be Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. Yeah, it's not. Man, my Avengers Doomsday video is doing very well. Almost just past, got 1,429 views, 1,430 views now. So the video is doing pretty well. Dog Stars, interesting. Eric, have you ever seen or heard of the Boondocks? I've heard of it, not seen it. Have I seen Maul Shadow Lord? Not yet, but I want to. Like I said, crazy summer. Once it passes, I can watch and catch up on all this stuff. Are you going to watch End of Oak Street? Probably the biggest dinosaur movie since Jurassic Park. Yeah, that actually looks kind of fun. I will watch that, yeah. Hey, Eric, did you know that James Gunn has a writing role in... Yes, I did. In Coyote vs. Acme? Yes, I did. I heard about that, which made me all the more surprised that when... Last year, David Zaslav cancelled the movie as part of a tax write-off right after he put James Gunn as head of DC. It was such a weird thing for him to do. Eric, what are your thoughts on the San Diego Comic-Con panel for Marvel? And do you have no excitement for any of these projects? Well, I said what I thought about this whole panel. The panel overall, not great, honestly. Brand New Day is coming out in a few days, so we don't really need a panel for that. Doomsday, they released a new trailer. They let us know Peggy Carter is in it. That was all really. Again, what Doomsday still feels like a last measure for Marvel, like something they did only in case of a rainy day. It still comes across that way. Black Panther 3, they're giving us a new male Black Panther, which is cool. Ghost Rider sounds like it could be cool, but I don't know. After their whole butchering of Blade, what Marvel were doing behind the scenes with that, I kind of have very little faith in them for Ghost Rider. But hey, Ghost Rider is, we'll have to see how they do with Ghost Rider. That's all I can say about Ghost Rider right now. We just gotta wait and see what they do with it. Do you prefer the Arkham games or the Insomniac Spider-Man games, and why? The Arkham games, because first of all, there's more of them, so you get more variety. The second reason I like them is because I think they're just better games, to be honest with you. I really do think they are just better games. Because Spider-Man 1 was really good, but Spider-Man 2 was just decent at best. It was a letdown in terms of storytelling and stuff, and I feel like the Arkham games were really good with storytelling. If Captain Carter shows up in the movie full powered from What If, I'm actually going to get ticked off. If Captain Carter... Oh, you mean Captain Carter like Peggy Carter? I thought you were talking me, Captain Carter. If Captain Carter shows up in the movie fully powered from What If, I'm actually going to get ticked off. I've heard people got pissed off with Captain Carter in What If Season 2, and if What If Season 1, people loved her so much. So what changed? Because I've only found out recently people really hate Captain Carter. What changed about her? Because everyone really liked her first. What's your favorite Linkin Park song? I can't remember the song, but it was at the credits of Transformers 2. When they go, so give me reason. And I can't remember the rest of the lyrics, but it was a nice sound. No, yes, I have seen Odyssey. I've got a review which I'm working on. It should be up in the next couple of days, next day or two. What I've done, yep. I remember black sky. I can't remember the lyrics. It's been such a long time. I do know who David Johnson is. He was in The Long Walk, and he was so good as Peter in that movie. Yeah, he was, wasn't he? He was so good in that film. 10 Rexy, I don't think I'll make a Marvel movie tier list. That'll be one heck of a long list. Have you seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, an anime show? I'm aware of it, Rohan. I've not seen it. Eric, if Scarlet Witch returns in Doomsday, how would you feel? And what did you think of her in Multiverse of Madness? I thought she was really good, but she turned way too fast, even with the Darkhold making her evil. Yeah, I thought that they did that very badly. Transitioned her from being good to evil. She was just evil in this movie. It just came out of nowhere. It really was. And I don't think the show did a good job of making her seem evil. It's like at the end of she was evil, but then they made it out like she's good. Then it's like they forgot that, hang on, she's supposed to be evil in the next movie, and they said make her read a book and then she'll turn evil again. It was a mess. Song is called New Divide. That was it. Thank you, Yusuf. Appreciate that. Oh boy. My voice is really going. Wow, 26 of you are here, so more of you have just come in right when I was about to call it quits. I think the Odyssey is like 70% good and out of the book. Yeah. Godzilla x Kong Supernova is going to be super sad considering we have 2 actors in the movie. That will be their last movie. Yeah, it will. Sam Neill and the little girl, or she was a little girl when she was in the last film. Yeah, that will be very sad. That will be. Joshman, I don't despise the movie. I don't despise Multiverse of Madness. There's some fun stuff in there for sure, especially the Sam Raimi-isms, but you can tell Sam Raimi did not have full control of this movie. You can tell it's one of those movies that got pulled through the ringer, because at one point Daniel Craig was supposed to be in the movie. According to Elizabeth Olsen, she actually saw a costume and, like, you know, so they went as far as to make him a costume, then he got pulled out of the film. Such a big mess what is going on down there. Eric will return in Doomsday, says Big Bash. Oh, Big Bash says, I love this background music. Oh, I hope it is calming, isn't it? Yeah, it is calming music, isn't it? Yeah. Did you see Project Hail Mary? If so, what do you think? No, I haven't seen that movie yet. I still gotta see it. Don't worry, I'll see it before the year closes out, because I know it might potentially be in my best movies list, so I'm not going to end this year without seeing it. I will say, though, I watched Avatar Aang on my projector that I reviewed on this channel. Watch it on a big screen if you can. Like, I know it's very limited, but if you can watch it on the big screen, do. It is beautiful animation. You can tell they put the work and effort in to make this a theater experience. And the sound design is excellent in the movie. Like, it's the first time airbending and all that has sounded really good all the time anyway, but it's on another level here. Especially if you have a surround sound system. Aang's airbending sounds like it goes from the front to the back of you, from the speaker here to the other speaker behind you over here. It's really cool. Crazy Cat Lady, I've not seen it. I've like I said, I've not had a chance to watch any movies during this heat wave in the UK, except for Avatar Aang and certain movies I see in the cinema. I still haven't finished Spider Noir or many other stuff. I can tell you that I'm not going to be watching the whole of that epic musical because it's like 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 20 minutes or something. So I'll watch some of it, but I'm not going to be able to watch all of it. That reminds me, Eric, what's the super evil background music you use when you're ranting in your reviews? Says Itchy Joe. Did you just change your profile pic? Is that Demon Slayer character? It's called Evil Omi. It's from a cartoon I used to watch when I was a kid called Shaolin Showdown, where a good character turns evil and is beating the shit out of his friends and is almost going to kill them. It's a very dark music, and I remember that was epic when I was a kid. I'm like, wow, that is such an epic music. So that's what it basically is. It's from the composer. I spoke to the composer as well. I can't remember his name, but in my videos, I put it... In some of the videos, I put it... the link to his channel the last time I used it. When was the last time I used it? But one of the times I used it, I basically put his link to his YouTube channel in the description. It was only on SoundCloud before. That's where I found it originally. But yeah, he's a great composer. Made the compositions for a lot of our childhood shows, and that one stood out to me as being amazing. That was a great piece of music. Very epic in my kids' Saturday morning show that I watched as a kid on Cartoon Network. And I put it in the video. I looked for it, found it, put it in the video, got his permission. And the first video I put it in, I think, was my Venom video. My Venom versus video with Spider-Man 3. Okay, guys, I am exhausted. My voice is gone. It's 1:45 in the morning. So I am exhausted right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bid all of you farewell. And I am then going to go just watch some stuff and with a green tea. And then I'm going to go get some rest. So for those of you that are unaware, I've got my Patreon here. So if you want to join and watch my trailer reactions to like Clayface and a bunch of other things and the new Green Lanterns trailer, then join this perk right here. If you want to get early access to my Versus videos plus my game show whenever I put videos of that up and trailer reactions, go over there. Don't forget you get your names in the credits as well. And if you want to become part of the Discord become a Discord family member and gain access to my Let's Watch perks as well, where you see me watch a movie or TV show from beginning to end and you see my reaction to it, then go for this perk right here. And I've got other perks there if you want to take a look at those too. It all goes towards supporting the channel, and you also become part of our Discord family members, our Patreon family members and our Discord family members if you decide to go with that one, where every 2 weeks we do a watch party where we get together and watch a movie. So we're going to be watching Looney Tunes Back in Action, I think, this upcoming Sunday. So yeah, it'd be great to have you all there. As I said, it always supports the channel. And speaking of supporting the channel, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe whenever you watch any of my videos. And also, subscribe to my second channel right here. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers there. And if you want to watch the videos I put up there as well, they're going to be condensed versions of my Versus videos, then check those out as well, and hopefully you enjoy those. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And of course, I will catch all of you very, very soon. Take care.